I am sick and tired of you being on my side.
Oh, how rude. I miss my side also, but, I can't sit on the guest's lap, so I had to move over here again.
That could be fun, though.
This is a fun guest, I think. This is the first guest that we don't really know. Like, all the guests so far have been our friends or, whatever. But, we don't know this person.
Yeah.
But we know him because we see him on our social media. He comes across our social media all the time. And the first time he came across my social media, I was like, who is this guy? I love his rawness. I love that he doesn't sound like he bullshits. Like, he just gets to the point.
Energy next level.
Yeah. And so, usually I introduce the guest, but because he has such a great sort of thing that he says on his thing all the time where it's him, I'm going to let him introduce himself in his famous way. So take it away.
Well, hello. It's Vegas Pauly C.
Yeah.
That was such a nice, kind introduction you gave. You got me a little tearing up a little bit. It's very sweet of you. Thank you.
It's true, though. It's true. Like,
oh, wow.
There's like, I feel like there's three of you in town. Like, it's you, Perez Hilton, Vegas Starfish. But like, when you come on, there's something about you that I feel it's refreshing, that it's just, I'm like, I know this guy's not going to bullshit. He's going to tell me. My only beef with you is that you don't like Chipotle, and Chipotle is one of my favorite things. But
oh wow, you have to come to the shop.
I want to.
I'm going to tell you the story about that too,
Please.
And it's just so authentic and real.
So you got yourself into a Mexican restaurant.
Oh my goodness!
We'll get to that.
There's so much. There's so much meat on this bone.
Yeah.
That you're after maybe 61 minutes, you're going to throw me out the door.
Never.
I've done them for as long as 2 hours, by the way, and I just keep going.
Okay,
we love that.
No, we do love that.
Because this town is a lot of content.
Yeah.
And especially if you're really living your life.
So we'll get to the Mexican thing,
Okay.
but first, we've been here. Angel was born and raised, and I've been here since 2011, and I've been on social media, and I only found you not too long ago, and you have a lot of followers. And
I'm a
like,
newbie.
Are you?
Yeah.
So how did it come about? Like, what is your story?
Well, you have to understand something. I'm sort of an awkward, nerdy guy, and I was in my basement until I was about 57, 58 years old. And I had gone across the country in 2019, and I had stopped at a bunch of casinos. And I'm a gambler, big-time gambler. And when I got back to New York, I get the mail, and there's this much snail mail offers from Shreveport, Louisiana, places in Mississippi, places, across the country.
Uh-huh.
And I say to myself, well, I'm never going back to any of these places. And because I'm sort of a math guy, sort of an entrepreneur, I realized that there's about $60 worth of mail here. I add up, like, well, this had to cost them $2. And I say to myself, there has to be an electronic solution for this. I should really develop an app. I was working for Google at the time as a contractor, not directly for Google. I don't want to, blow up the, my importance. But basically, I was selling them cellular service because I had access to wholesale cellular. So I put about $450,000 into this app. The last part of it, I was using someone local here in Vegas to promote it. And it never really went anywhere. And as it was dying at the end, I said, you know what, I'm going to try this myself. And I started walking. I'm a very good live streamer because I'm very fast. Mm-hmm. And I have a core belief. I think that people really need to be heard. So when I would live stream, I would try and answer as many people and acknowledge. If someone's going to actually take time out of their day to go on my live stream, and they're going to say something, and sometimes in TikTok it goes so fast so I can't cover everybody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give them a voice because I know what it feels like to be on someone else's live stream and them just completely ignore you.
Yeah,
Right.
and you're like, hello.
Right. So I said to myself, I'm going to try and give everybody a voice. And I ended up making a lot of friends from the live stream. In fact, they had a little get-together here in Vegas, and a bunch of them showed up. Kevin from Florida, Joey, OG, JoJo, all of these people come to mind. And they still watch my show.
Aw,
When was
I
this?
love that.
When did this start?
This was... Well, my Instagram, I took over my Instagram on June 23rd of last year. So my Instagram is a year and about 3 months.
Wow.
My TikTok is 2 years and February 1st of 2022.
Okay.
So my TikTok is 2 years and 6 months.
Okay.
If TikTok did not go anti-gambling, you don't really know this story, but in February, March of 2023, after I had been on TikTok a year, they went anti-gambling because someone was from Wisconsin was taking bets from people on the slot machine and taking the money through TikTok, and then he had to subscribe, so he was getting the $5.
Wow.
Wow.
His name was Closer,
Wow.
and he got caught and he got indicted, and then TikTok went, oh, gambling is bad. So you don't know this, but TikTok is very anti-gambling.
Interesting.
If they had never become anti-gambling, my road would have been a lot easier.
On TikTok.
Yeah. It's funny. I'll tell you a funny story. I ran to Western Pennsylvania, the border of Ohio, and I bought a couple of slot machines for the house.
That's
real quick.
cool.
Well, for content, and I knew that it was going to really build my TikTok following. And I had them 1 week before, and now they're sitting in my house. I had them 1 week before TikTok became anti-gay.
no.
Oh, dang it.
Bad timing.
But at least they're good set pieces for your house.
Yeah,
though,
they're good set pieces.
Yeah, what is your gambling? Like, what's your thing in gambling? Like, what is your go-to?
Blackjack and craps. I try
wow.
and play the two games that have the closest. See, I'm sort of like a gambling advocate in that I know people want to play as long as possible.
Yeah.
You can come out to Vegas with $2,000 or $3,000, and you can sit at the slot machine, and it could be gone in an hour. In
Yeah.
fact, mathematically, it should be gone in an hour.
Uh-huh.
If you play craps, if you play blackjack properly, you can play for 20, 30, 40 hours for the same amount of house edge.
Right.
So in other words, the house edge, we'll just take one of the best games in Vegas, which is the 10X craps game at the Plaza downtown Las Vegas. Full disclosure, I'm friendly with Jonathan Jossel. He's the CEO there. But anyway, I'm friendly with him because he gives the math. He gives the love. I would have never become friendly with him. There are other casinos I used to talk to, but they don't give the love. So that game is .002, which is one fifth of 1%. So if you turn $1 million on that table with full odds, you're giving the house $2,000. If you turn $1 million, and this is from the latest report, I just read the gaming report yesterday, it came out. If you turn $1 million in the slot machines in Las Vegas, you're giving $90,000.
Oh,
So
damn.
it's $90,000 to play.
Wow.
And people turn $1 million. You'd be surprised. It might take you a year, it might take you 2 years. If you're a heavy gambler, you're going to turn $1 million in a week.
Wow.
So if you think about the cost of turning $1 million at the crap table being $2,000 versus turning $1 million, and all my math is rock solid, by the way, and turning $1 million at the slot machine is $90,000. What am I telling people to play? Like, this is why I in a lot of ways, a lot of social media is against me because I only advocate for the best games. The
Yeah.
casinos are not necessarily for the best games.
Sure.
Yeah, you're
I'm
giving the
only
secrets.
advocating for the best games. It's boring as can be to watch me play Pop Craps, which is one of the best games you can play. But people love to watch slot machines. But my heart, my soul, I can't advocate for slot machines because I
Yeah.
know how terrible they
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
Sure.
So even if you told me tomorrow, and this is a big part of who I am, even if you told me tomorrow you can make $2,000 or $3,000 a year, $2 or $3 million a year instead of this, I'm making about $60,000 right now total from my social media. And I used to share that every month, but it's been the same $4,000 from TikTok. But even if you told me tomorrow I can make $2 million a year if I advocate for slot machines, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell people. In fact, sometimes I tell people on my live when I'm being really raw, when I'm being really honest, I'll be like, Vegas Pauly C, I want to come to Vegas. I want to play slot machines. I'll be like, send a check to Vegas. Stay home with your wife. Stay home with your kids. Stay home with your dog. It's just, it's just a complete and total waste of time.
Yeah.
So that makes me an enemy of a lot of casinos.
Sure.
And then the other problem is the food. I was obese.
What?
Yeah. So I was obese, and I was obese for 13 years, and it was misery. And then I found out what it's like to be ripped. I found out what it's like to be really in shape,
Wow.
which I am now. And I can't advocate for food.
How?
Yeah.
Wait,
I know
tell
how
us your
good it feels.
secret.
I know how good it feels to be. It's addicting. Once you really get ripped, once you have the abs and arms, and
Yeah.
listen, no ego, but the senior games winner in Arizona and Nevada for pull-ups is like 13, 14 pull-ups. I'd be in the senior games because I'm 60. I can do 18 pull-ups.
Wow, good for
Wow.
you.
So-
I
but
can't
I'm-
even do one.
But it just feels so good. So how am I going to advocate for food? So now that puts all of these food influencers over here.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad, and I know you're not allowed to talk about this in PC land, but I'm going to talk about it. It's kind of sad because a lot of these food advocates, a lot of these people that are pushing food, they have obesity issues. And I look at them and I say, yeah, but is it really worth it?
Yeah.
You could tell me, again, you could tell me tomorrow that I could be a food influencer and make $2, $3, $4 million a year, or you can be ripped and make $60,000 a year. I'm keeping the $60,000.
Interesting.
I was obese, and I know what it's like to wake up in the morning after not eating dinner and after going to the gym the day before, and
Yeah.
it's the fountain of youth.
Right.
People, I don't know if people really understand, especially when you get old, and I consider myself old at 60. It's the fountain of youth. So how am I not going to sit here? You're obviously way younger than me, but how am I not going to sit here and tell you guys, wow, I found the fountain of youth. Look,
Yeah.
look, I have goosebumps telling you about this. I found the secret.
That's amazing. How
So-
long have you been married?
I'm not married. I have the same girlfriend for 7 years.
7
who I
years.
only met. I was obese. I was on eHarmony for 10 years. I'm like hitting the keyboard like, wow. This has to be a world record. I never got a single conversation going in 10 years on eHarmony.
Dang.
I lost 70 pounds. I got ripped. I have the abs. The whole thing is just, And I put my picture up ripped. And within a week, I'm now in a relationship for 7 years.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
And-
So,
yeah,
go ahead.
sorry.
So how did you lose all the weight? You were just like, I need to choose a healthier lifestyle.
Eating and exercise? Or
I
mostly
was
eating?
chasing, sometimes this conversation comes up when we're talking about the Mexican restaurant. I was chasing one girl who was Latin. People like say, oh, you're a culture vulture, or you're this, you're the other thing. It's like, wow, I was immersed in the Latin culture for like 20 years because the girls that I like have brown skin. That's what I'm into.
Yeah.
Everybody has their choice. So I had a girlfriend no, she wasn't a girlfriend. She was a fake girlfriend. There was a girl that I was chasing who used to disrespect the hell out of me.
Oh, no.
And, you don't have to have any. I mean, you do it to yourself. I'm eating. She's looking at me. I could tell she was disgusted by me. I could see
When
it in
you
her
say
eyes.
obese, sorry.
230.
230. Okay.
230. So I lost 72 pounds.
Wow.
And then I kind of gave up on her. And then I got another Latin girlfriend, and it was like the same thing. And I just said, you know what? I'm going to be the best person that I can be. Obviously, I have no pigment in my skin, so that's a huge disadvantage in dating. But I'm going to be the best person that I can be. And I had New Year's Eve with her and her family. And I spent about $700 or $800. I had won $10,000 gambling. And I spent about $700 or $800. We have a local store called A&S Pork Store. I brought in all the meats. I'm half Italian. I brought in all the meats. I brought in, the prosciutto, all the good stuff. And I was at my fattest at that point. I remember that morning I was 229.
That's not
And
obese, though, is it?
it's heavy on a 5'8" body. It's
Okay.
heavy,
Yeah.
I mean, I had the boobs, my boobs went like this. I had the flap, I had the hang. Everything's disgusting. It's even worse when you have no pigment in your skin. I don't know, brown fat looks one way and white fat
No,
looks
that's
another
very
way.
true.
White fat looks way worse.
Yeah.
So I can tell you, because I saw myself naked, I know how bad it was. And she totally disrespected me. It was December 31st, 2010. Even her mother was a sweet woman. Her mother was like, wow, this guy invites the whole family here, and you're just totally, she was really taking a crapiola on my head.
Yikes.
So the next morning I said, that's it. And that was January 1st, 2011. It took me listen to how long it takes. It took me 5 years and 10 months to go from obese to abs.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember my anniversary is like November 15th, 2016.
But in your 50s,
Wow.
that's even harder, though. So,
Now it was easy.
Really?
It was easy because I had enough.
Yeah. Like when you're ready.
When
you're
you've had
ready.
enough, like I already went to the gym today. I was already thinking like maybe I'll go again tonight. I love it.
Wow,
It's-
good
Do
for you.
Do supplements or anything like that, or just
That's a whole conversation that centers around Gary Brecka. Do you know who he is?
no?
Okay, so the podcast that I've been on twice, Sean Kelly, he always has Gary Brecka over there. But Gary Brecka talks about that. That's a whole. I start to go off on that. It's going to be anyway. I was born with a genetic mutation called CCAATT.
Whoa.
And a lot of people in social media called me out on it. It's like, oh, I have a certain number of haters. Oh, he's self-diagnosed. Oh, he doesn't have any mutation. So, of course, I did a video on my other channel, which is Paul Contino. I have a channel that has about 60,000 followers where I put all my personal stuff. But it's not really personal because anybody can see it. It's Paul Contino on TikTok. So I went and I took my copy of my genetics, and I have 2 bad copies of what's called GCH1. This is an interesting conversation. I know this is not a gambling podcast, but because I was born with 2 bad copies of GCH1, I only create neurotransmitters at a 20% rate. So that's serotonin and dopamine are 2 main transmitters. So because I only create dopamine at a 20% rate, I am a natural-born addict.
Wow.
And if you do the research on this, people are going to say, oh, you're just weak. No. And I said this last time I was on Sean Kelly, and it never really got to Gary Brecka, but there are people walking around homeless in Las Vegas and all around the world, but let's just use Las Vegas. It's probably even more so here, who just do not create neurotransmitters. And so they're alcoholics or they're drug addicts or they're compulsive gamblers. And now they're my age and they're living on the street in downtown Las Vegas. And all they really need is some L-methylfolate and the proper supplements to get them back to, someplace decent.
Interesting.
Like I know for a fact that so many of those people have not chosen that.
Yeah.
They just haven't.
Does
Well,
the
they might not even know.
Is the
don't even
dopamine,
know.
is it kick so hard that you need it? Is that how that works?
Okay, so there's a chemical called BH4, which is a precursor to dopamine. I mean, I've done all the research. It breaks down too quickly in my body. So it never gets turned into the neurotransmitters. It breaks down. It's sort of like weak. It's a weak version of BH4 methylation. See, I have trouble saying the word methylation. I don't methylate properly. And Gary Brecker's a genius in this. I mean, he talks about it. When I first saw him, I went, whoa, this guy has it all figured out. And then I met him for a handshake once, like when you meet someone you really admire for a handshake. And I said, wow, you have it all figured out. And he comes under attack because they attack him because, oh, you're not a medical doctor, or you're not this, or you're not that. But as an addict and as someone who was born with this deficiency, I can tell you that guy has it all figured out.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But he's just giving
So
advice. So
crazy.
it's not like you're right. It's
He's
not-
explaining to you that human beings are born with different deficiencies. My particular deficiency is my BH4 breaks down really quickly, and I don't methylate properly. But there's hundreds of these things. There's people who don't process proteins properly, and then they're never able to develop, say, collagen. You may have seen this woman who doesn't create collagen. She's very gaunt looking. Like she has a deficiency. She was born with a genetic. There's 6,000 genetic diseases.
Right.
You can take your genetics and send them out, and you're going to get back. When I did it, they told me, oh, you're going to get colon cancer most likely.
Yikes.
I went and, I had, the precursors for colon cancer. They removed them. Everybody goes for that colonoscopy, but like they'll tell you what you're, like in other words, you are predisposed to certain genetic diseases. You're,
Excuse me.
the guy over there is genetically predisposed to certain cancers, for instance. My friend Anne-Marie, she has all sorts of heart problems. She was born with that. She's genetically predisposed to those sort of heart conditions. So if you do your genetics, it can be very helpful.
So you stay. You can. There's water there if you need
Yeah.
it. Do you stay away from fast foods? I would imagine.
No, I eat whatever I want.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so
24/7, whatever I want to eat.
confusing. What the hell? And you,
You
still
can-
have abs?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want if you do the work, and if you don't, I don't overdo it. Like I have food comps all over town. You know what happens when you start to do the influencer
Yeah.
thing? Everybody starts to invite you, come here, come there. Like I have food credits, food comps waiting for me all over
Amazing.
town, and
That's
I just
awesome.
don't go
Yeah.
because I don't want
So,
it.
what would you give? Speaking of influencer, what would you title yourself?
Good question.
I'm just living my life in Las Vegas.
Okay.
I came out here trying to do a business. I came out here trying to do the comp wallet. That's the name of my app. It didn't really go. I had $450,000 in it. I tried to promote it. And what happened with me, I'm sure you've heard this, the tail started wagging the dog. So I was doing the social media to try and promote the comp wallet. And the social media went. And the comp wallet is still sort of languishing. I mean, it's probably going to be reissued because I gave it to two geniuses in Reno. And they're like
Awesome.
rewriting it. But it may not. But now I'm in deals with, people in Vegas, great people that
Yeah.
some of the people that I deal with in Vegas, I'm blown away that they even talk to me, to be honest with you.
What? Like who? Give us an example.
Well, for instance, I went to go to Tao nightclub, Hakkasan. Now, look, I'm 60 years old. I go into Hakkasan. It's wall-to-wall people. Do I really want to be in Hakkasan? Where I never went to a nightclub my whole life. I'm going to start to go off on tangents here, but I never went to XS in my life. I walked by XS in the Wynn for 20 years because I'm a gambler.
Yeah.
And I would walk by XS, and this is how my mind would feel when I walked by XS.
Yeah.
Never going in there.
Yeah.
Don't have any game.
Yeah.
Don't have any. Certainly don't want to spend $50,000 on a bottle to try and pretend that I have game.
Yeah.
So I have no game, right? So I know who I am. So XS was never on my list.
Right.
I get a call from XS nightclub. Come down on New Year's Eve.
Wow.
And they took me right to the front of the line. Like, we know who you are. This was the last New Year's.
Interesting.
And I go in there, and they throw me right up on stage. The guy's name is Randy. He's the stage manager there. I forgot his last name. Super nice people at XS. And so the Chainsmokers are performing. This video is actually on my social media. It's pretty
I'll
funny.
have to go look.
And the Chainsmokers are performing, and they put me right in the corner, right? And there's 4,000 kids there. And because I'm so honest, because I'm so real, I'm like, oh God. Like I know they see the Chainsmokers.
Yeah.
and they see this ghost. You know, they see this person who's like, who the hell? I'm sure they thought I was a casino executive.
I was going to say, they probably
Right.
think you own Hakkasan.
And they kept me up there for 18 minutes. It was XS, not Hakkasan. I'll tell you the
sorry.
Hakkasan story
Sorry,
in a second. And they keep me up there for 18 minutes, and I'm just like, oh, get me down from here. Because, you know, you're watching the chain smokers, and you want to look at hot girls. You don't really want to look at a 60-year-old guy who has no pigment in his skin. So, like, I'm aware of that. And, like, his name's Randy Tomas. Such a nice guy.
This was this
And he's the
past-
stage. This is the past New Year's.
Okay.
And so I finally got down, and I was like, but like Hakkasan and Tao is owned by a guy named Jason Strauss. And he actually like DMs me and is like, you know, how's everything going? Like,
How cool.
Like he talks to me. And I was at Hakkasan about a month ago. I love this story. This is so funny. Because a guy named Big Dave invited me there. Not Hakkasan, Big Dave, although they have invited me everywhere. Tao, they're super nice to me. And I'm with Big Dave, and DJ Pauly D is performing that night. Now look,
Pauly D and Pauly C.
Pauly D. So I sat in my house for 10 years with Anne Marie, as a nerd, as an obese person. I used to eat 3 chicken burgers. She used to give me green martinis, and we would get, you know, funny, and we would watch Jersey Shore, right? So to me, it's like, wow, you know, Jersey Shore was a big show in my life. I used to be so entertained by it. So I'm at Hakkasan, and I leave, and someone DMs me and says, you better go back there. And I said, well, why do I have to go back there? And they said, because Pauly D wants to meet you. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So I know that was Jason Strauss doing, because he knows of me. He knows that he's paying Pauly D to be at the club. So like, I've never broached that subject with him, but like, what a nice guy. Like
Yeah.
the owner of Hakkasan, like the fact, look, I know who I am. You know, if I had a nightclub, I wouldn't be at the top of my list to invite me to the nightclub. You know what I mean? And then the other day, okay, same story. So Dustin Dre, who owns Dre's, DMs me and is like, I want you to come to see, it wasn't Trey Songz. I want you to come see Trey Songz. I'm like, really? You want me to come to see Trey Songz? I'm like, and I love Trey Songz.
I would say, do you know one Trey
Of course,
Songz?
I love Trey Songz. I love Trey
Amazing.
Songz. It's funny, the thing I love the most about Trey Songz, believe it or not, is his physical fitness. Have you seen him with his shirt off?
No.
Okay, well, I have. So he's in incredible shape. And so I go down there, and he gives me like, I mean, it had to be a $10,000 table. And like 15 people, I said, can I bring like 10 or 12 people? He's like, yeah. I brought the people from the taco shop, a couple people. Jose the taco guy's my partner. I brought the lead taquero. And, you know, the thing that I enjoyed about that was not, wow, I'm at Dre's, wow, it's the fact that I got to bring like the
Sharing the
I brought
experience.
to Jose the taco guy,
Yeah.
who's the most humble guy in the world.
Yeah.
I brought my taquero.
Yeah.
You know, there's a kid named Justin who loves to make videos of me. And I keep telling Justin, I say, Justin, this isn't, he did a really long one of Poppy Steak. I'll talk about Poppy Steak in a second. He did a really long one of Poppy Steak. I'm like, nobody's going to watch this. It's on YouTube. It has, you know, I only have 9,000 YouTube followers. That's my weakest platform. It has like 1,200 views or whatever, but he insists it's going to be something. But Poppy Steak. I'm going down the escalator at the Fontainebleau. You have to understand, I'm hiding at the Fontainebleau because pre-opening, I told the whole world that they don't know what they're doing because I have a big mouth. And I knew they didn't know what they were doing because I met executives before they opened who talked to me and showed me they had no clue as to what they were doing.
They told you.
And I knew they had no clue. I understand the casino business. I'm going down the escalator at Fontainebleau, and I'm hiding because I'm trying to get the information that I want, but I don't really want to be recognized. Partly because after being thrown out of Resorts World, I'm thinking to myself, well, I'm probably going to get thrown out of Fontainebleau. Someone else told me I'm probably going to get thrown out of Caesars because I'm very honest about Caesars. So I'm hiding going down the escalator, and I'm making myself really small. And Poppy Steak goes, oh, Vegas Pauly C. And I'm like, oh, my God. And he drags me around, and he introduces me to some people there at the very top who did not shake my hand, by the way. They turned their backs on me.
What?
Yeah, that'll give you an idea what's going on in Vegas.
Holy cow.
I'm okay with it. I deserve it. Like, again, if I was me and I was them and I had done to me what I had done to them, I wouldn't shake my hand either. But I was a little shocked.
Wait, but explain, what do you mean? Just
He
because,
turned his back on me.
But I know, but why do you think that you deserve it? Or
Because I was super.
I
Well, first of all, they really wanted me to come to the opening, and I refused to go because I got the intelligence on what the opening was. It was a giant birthday party for the owner, and they weren't even allowing high rollers there. So I'm getting all the DMs. I really want to go to the opening of the Fontainebleau Vegas Pauly C. I have $1 million credit line, and they won't even return my phone call. As a gambler, as a casino wannabe entrepreneur, although now I'm doing some casino stuff behind the scenes, as someone who would love to be in that industry, it's completely anathema to me that a $4 billion property is opening and people with $1 million credit lines can't go to the opening because it's the owner's birthday party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
I call
strange.
them out on that.
I see.
So when I meet these people at the very top and they turn their back on me, am I shocked?
Yeah.
Right.
Is it a mistake by them? Probably.
Sure.
Yeah.
But, I did a post the other day. So a bunch of people DM'd me. This is the power of social media. It's so powerful. Not power for me, power for the business, power for the
Yeah.
community.
Sure.
I did a post the other day about Fontainebleau because a lot of people told me, wow, they got really loose with comps. They're doing a great job comping now. They gave me this, they gave me that. And if I get something from 10 or 12 people, I say to myself, well, maybe this is a conversation we need to have. So I stand in front of the Fontainebleau and I say, well, a lot of people are telling me they're getting very loose with their comps. Is this true? So the post got hundreds of thousands of views. I think on Instagram, maybe 100,000 on TikTok, whatever it is. But okay, here's 250 comments from gamblers about their experience at the Fontainebleau. Now, the Fontainebleau talks to me and they don't talk to me. They talk to me and they don't talk to me. But when I have a recommendation, sometimes they will listen to me, like something ridiculous going on there, which is another story I'm going to get into in a second. I send it to them and I say, you have an unbelievable opportunity right here to interact with 250 gamblers that are on here. Not for me. I don't care how many more views I get on this. Mm-hmm. You have 250 gamblers. Some of them are in Texas, some of them are in Alabama, some of them are in Florida, some of them are not. They want to come to Las Vegas. And I know as a gambler that if you reach out to them and say, hey, we would like you to come, we would like you to have an experience, it wouldn't take them that long to go in there and talk to those 250 gamblers who actually expressed an interest in the Fontainebleau. You have a boiled-down community. The people that watch Vegas Pauly C are by and large gamblers. And these are 250 people who felt strongly enough about the Fontainebleau to make a comment about the Fontainebleau, positive or negative. So now as the marketing department of the Fontainebleau, you have an unbelievable platform to recruit people. Mm-hmm. I know math, and I know if they went in there and talked to all 250 people, let's just say it took one employee a whole week to talk to all 250 people. The cost of the employee, let's just use round numbers, $2,000. How much business would they have driven talking to 250 gamblers?
Yeah.
I'm going to guess, and I'm totally talking out of my tuchus, I'm going to guess they would have driven $50,000 to $100,000 in winnings to their casino by talking to 250 gamblers on my channel.
And they surely have people that are designated to do that already.
But they don't.
Really?
They have the worst social media team I've ever seen in my life. They have 2,700 followers on TikTok.
Fontainebleau?
Yeah. They have about 110,000 on Instagram, but only 2,700 on TikTok.
Wow.
The point is that I sent that to the media relations person there. I said, look, hate me, love me, it doesn't matter. Here's an unbelievable opportunity for you. I met some guys the other day at the Wynn, and I told them this. I said, yes, I am banned from Resorts World. I'm not allowed in there.
Wait, I want that story.
But if I find out tomorrow that they're offering 2-to-1 on blackjack, which would give the player about a 2% edge in blackjack, if I find out tomorrow they're giving 2-to-1 on blackjack, I'm standing out on the corner like I always am saying, you gamblers got to get your tuchuses over here to Resorts World. You're going to get 2-to-1 on blackjack. You're going to do unbelievable. There are good things and bad things in every property. And even if a property hates me, there's things at the Resorts World that I love. It's clean. It's cheap. Alley 66 Bar, where you go up, has a beautiful view of Las Vegas on one side and on the other side.
The street food court is pretty great, too. I like it.
I don't love the street food.
Really? I love that noodle
It's
place.
kind of overpriced for what it is.
Oh,
but
yeah,
okay.
that's true.
I mean, you can go to Spring Mountain Road and kill it for what you're doing over there.
Well,
but,
sure.
Okay. Well, sure. But the point is there's super positive things there that I was addressing when I was there. But all they heard was the negativity, and they barred me. They threw me out. And I was doing a mitzvah when I got thrown out. There was a guy working there whose son owns the Hard Hat Lounge.
Oh, yeah.
And he said to me, Vegas Pauly C, can you check out the Hard Hat over on Industrial? And I'm like, sure. Is there a story there? And he's like, well, my son is the guitarist for Slash, but he's also an entrepreneur. As soon as I hear entrepreneur, I want to support it. And he owns the Hard Hat Lounge. Go over there. So I go over there with Jose the Taco Guy. Jose the Taco Guy gets the burger. It was $9. Drinks are $7 over there. I'm like, This place is great. Drinks are $7. The burger is $9 for $20. You're all set up for like an hour. The burger is good. I do the video. I'm in Resorts World, and he's thanking me. He's telling me, that's great. I'm so grateful that you did that video for my son. Thank you so much. Friendly guy. And the other reason I love this pit guy is he's similar in my age, and I can see that he's just as fit, if not more fit than me. He hikes. He's ripped. I can see all the veins in his arms. So we have this camaraderie going. And I'm talking to him, and I'm with Anne Marie, who's sort of, she's sort of on my show. She's a big part of my show. She's my ex-wife. And security comes along and grabs me and tosses me out. Like, I'm there doing good things. I was going there to do the chicken place for somebody who wanted me to show their COOP restaurant, whatever it is. I did a favor for the guy that works there, one of the guys that works there, and you're grabbing me and throwing me out in the street.
That's so
It's
wild.
like no good deed goes unpunished.
Yeah,
That's so wild.
facts.
So when you say you get banned from that, do you think you pop up on their camera on like some kind of like software? They're like, he's here.
Yeah.
It's not. It's like
Well, that
instant?
particular establishment, and I am not talking BS here because I'm banned. I am talking from experience because I get all the DMs from people. That particular establishment is extremely aggressive with security. I'll give you an example of that. When the hacker convention was here, they told their guests, we are going to come into your room unannounced. This is just a fact. You can Google all this. We are going to come into your room unannounced, even if you have a privacy sign on your door.
Wow.
So, of course, I made a video out of that because that is the most foolish thing. I mean, can you imagine you're with your significant other and they're in some different state of undress and they come through the door?
What?
But
That's not okay.
But they announced this.
Did they actually follow through with that? Did
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And they don't know.
That's wild.
Security and me, and probably you guys, although you look like you might be super smart, most people don't know what hacker tools look like.
Sorry.
Most people don't know what hacker tools look like.
Sure.
I'm sorry about that. I apologize.
No.
It's just that I see like a camaraderie with him with the glasses and
Yeah.
So, but I apologize. So, okay, maybe you know what hacker tools are. I have no
I
idea.
don't.
I have no idea. So, I mean, they were going
Neither
into the
does
room.
he, for the record.
Okay.
I do too.
They were going into the room looking for hacker tools.
Amazing.
I don't know what a hacker tool. How are you going to teach security? But they were doing it,
Yeah, that's
Wow.
crazy.
and I got the DMs.
That's so wild.
And then the defenders of Resorts World, and there are social media people who, for some reason, feel the need to defend them, are like, well, this is normal procedure. But yet the Wind didn't do it.
No way.
The Font and
Is
Blue
that
didn't do
normal?
it.
What, did this
procedure.
happen after they hacked all? Remember, where was the place that got hacked?
There was a few casinos that like completely got shut down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
remember that? Did this happen before or after that happened?
So they came after, it was a year ago that happened during the
so
last
before.
convention. So MGM and Caesars both got told, we have all of your logins. They went through, and I'm sure I'm saying this wrong because, again, I am not on this level, but it's called OKTA. It's a program that they use to manage personnel, I think, OKTA. It may be said some other way. Please don't vilify me if I said OKTA wrong. And they went through OKTA and they shut down. They got control of everything at MGM and at Caesars. MGM said, we are not paying.
Yeah.
Caesars said, here's your, and I think it was $15 million. It might have been 10. Caesars said, here's your 10 or $15 million. So they never shut down Caesars, but they shut down MGM for like a month.
Wow,
The slot machines were off. There was no login. There was no way to get into the rooms.
So cool.
And
That's crazy cool.
I give Bill Hornbuckle and MGM, I give them so much credit because they handled it really well. I mean, for what they went through, the financial costs to them, I didn't see a huge hit in their revenue. I look at every quarter. I didn't see any kind of hit in their revenue. Their quarter was still great.
Wow.
They fixed everything. They went back in. Caesars paid.
Yeah.
The interesting part of the story is, and I used to talk about this all the time, so the name of the hacker group was Scattered Spider. And I used to love to say that because it was funny in my videos and it was funny on my live. And the FBI knew it was younger kids.
Yeah.
And they had kind of put it out there that it was young. The kid was 17 years old. He was in
Wow.
England.
Amazing.
They actually busted him.
I love it.
17.
I love it.
Damn, he wasn't even here at the hacker convention.
Yeah.
Not even present.
Across the country, across the pond.
And when when the hacker convention is here, they like tell people that are working in the casino like put your phone on airplane mode so that like there's no like the cellular data needs to be turned off so that they can't have access to your personal information as well while you're here. And one of the girls that I work with hacked her Instagram, like all her social media. Carrie,
Yeah, that's crazy.
it's crazy.
Well, what are all the properties that you're 86 from?
Just one.
Just Resorts World?
But, my arch nemesis has put posts up she's put posts up that
Wait, who's your arch nemesis?
Well, we're not getting into that right this second.
Okay.
I think it's a little premature in the conversation.
Okay.
I still feel super bad that I prejudiced you because you're attractive. I didn't think you were brilliant. I did. I totally, but I'll admit that.
Thank you.
Like I see you and I see that you're very stylish and I see that you're very attractive.
Thank
and
you.
I immediately default to him with the intelligence.
Yeah.
And that's a learning moment for me.
Well,
and I
thanks
want to
for
really,
that.
I want to really apologize.
No,
to
that's
you.
okay.
But to
I'm
be
not
honest,
easily offended.
It's more of a compliment to her because smart, nerdy guys are ugly. So you were
Right,
basically
right.
saying I was ugly, and basically were saying she
Well,
was
no,
beautiful.
I wasn't.
so-
I wasn't saying that. I saw that. I saw that camaraderie with you, and also to be honest with you, like in my lifetime, I have not interacted with a lot of attractive women, so I'm also like, you know what I mean. Probably she doesn't want to talk to me.
Very
The
sweet.
thing that everybody likes about you is that you're raw.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about you too is that you notice when you overstep with the raw thing, and then you clear. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I feel so guilty.
You
Don't
know
feel
that.
I feel
bad.
so guilty because now I'm looking at her, and I immediately was like, and some people would
love
say, "Oh,
that.
you're a misogynist."
No, I
but
love
it
that.
really was based on your attractiveness.
Yeah.
Like
Thank you.
like my mind, and I have to retrain myself, and I apologize.
If
It's
you were
okay.
a
Seriously,
misogynist,
it's okay.
You wouldn't still be
Well,
talking about this.
I've been accused of that also.
No way, man.
But where were we before that? And I come from a matriarchy also, so I shouldn't even. My mother was the brilliant one, and my father was like, "Hey, what's going? You know what I mean?"
You weren't wrong. I am the brilliant one in the relationship.
Okay.
But we'll move on.
Where were we before that? Before I went crazy.
Yeah, where were we?
I went crazy feeling guilty.
No,
About what I
oh my
had
gosh,
just
it's
done.
okay. I'm seriously
I'm
not
glad-
easily
I'm glad
offended.
you got that out of your head because neither of us are offended.
Not even a little bit.
Yeah, it's very hard to offend us. But yeah, so you're only.
Oh, just Resorts World.
Yeah, okay.
So there was a post that said that no one in the business community will deal with him. He's 86 everywhere. No one, there was a crazy story with Circa. This is kind of a funny story for the podcast that'll give you a little bit of my journey. It was a big part of my journey. And it also will lead into Mr. Irrelevant. You know who that is. Maybe you don't know who that is.
Oh.
You mentioned him earlier in the conversation. But I'm going to tell that.
I love
So
these.
I got invited. One of the first places I got invited to was Circa. So Richard Wilk, who works at Circa, super nice guy, very cognizant of social media. He saw me on social media. He invited me. Now you have to remember, I'm still like, I think I had about 90,000 followers. Maybe, you know what? I know exactly how many followers I had because I looked at my Instagram. I had 107,000 followers, and Circa had 107,000 followers when Circa invited me to Circa.
Wow.
So they pick me up in the airport in the big limousine.
Oh, cool.
And they bring me down there, and I say, "What do you want me to do?" Because I don't know anything about anything. I mean, I'm as raw as, I'm like a child. What would you what? Because I'm in a position there where I feel they have all the power. I'm really nobody, and I'm, deferring to them. And I'm saying, "What do you want?" And they're like, "You do whatever you want." I'm like, "Really?" Like, yeah, you have access to everything. You just go around, make your videos, whatever you like.
Cool.
And there's a million cool things at the Circa, so it's very easy. The sports book is incredible. Circa Swim is like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's awesome.
They have the Legacy nightclub upstairs, which is incredible. Barry's Prime. Oh, I mean, I'll talk about that maybe in a second. Maybe I won't. But the bottom line is Richard Wilk invites me. But this is an interesting story because it'll show you what an idiot I am. So I go there and I do 2 days there, and I get well over 1 million views. And I'm kvelling. I'm so happy. Oh, my God, I was invited to Circa, Richard Wilk. They gave me all this attention. And I'm not going to say I feel like I made it, but I can't believe I'm getting this attention because
Yeah.
you got to remember, I'm someone who gets no attention whatsoever. My girlfriend sometimes is like, you know what I mean?
No way.
So about a month goes by, and I'm in the sports book. This is really pathetic. I'm in the sports book, and I'm on the live, and I have 500 people on my live. Now, it's important that you know that my primary motivation in Las Vegas is to make people laugh or make people have a better time than they're having. I do not give any Fs whatsoever if they are totally laughing at me. So me and alcohol, that's like a whole nother world. Sorry, excuse me. That video is going up in a week or two. But me and alcohol is another world. But I'm not drunk. So I have someone on my live, and they're saying, I want to see your feet. 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 Now, I happen to have one thing that's on me that's extremely attractive. I happen to have beautiful porcelain feet that are just like, you wouldn't even believe these are my feet. They look like, like God's feet. But never mind that. So I know that already. Like, well, I do pedicures like on the live, and I'll like show them because they're unbelievable. So, well, being really white, when it gets to your feet, if your feet are completely like porcelain white, they look good, So I have beautiful feet. So the guy's like bothering me. Let me see your feet. Let me see your toes. Let me see your feet. So I'm in the sports book, and I'm sitting in the corner minding my own business. But it's one of the NCAA Saturdays, and I'm going to show this guy my feet. I don't want to show my feet. This guy. And some woman comes over who's a waitress, and she says, "Do you have a ticket?" And I go in my pocket because I'm a nerd. I go in my pocket and I take out the casino manager's card, because they gave it to me when I was there a month earlier. I go, well, they said that I can, be here and I can live stream and there was nobody in the sports book. And she's like, I don't really care who you are. Oh. So they 86 me from the sports book.
What?
And I had 500 people on the live. So now I'm having a good time because I'm in the sports book. I'm not casting any aspersions at Circa. The fact that the waitress didn't know who I was, okay, who the hell am I really? But she didn't even want to hear my story, and that's fine. I'm like, I have 500 people here. I'm showing your property. And by the way, that leads into another conversation. I really feel that the casino hotels in Las Vegas should take their staff, and this is no ego. This is a recommendation to the casino hotels, and you're going to get it the minute I say this. I feel like they should take their staff, show them pictures of the top 30 or 40 people in Las Vegas that wander around.
Yeah.
And say, if you see one of these people, do not shit on their head.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
By the way, I have no anger towards the Circa. They're fantastic property.
Oh, yeah.
This was just an accident.
Sure.
Okay?
Right.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
just understand
Yeah.
that. Just like bed bugs are just an accident. That's why I don't do bed bugs. So I say to myself, well, I want to still entertain everybody. I'm kind of making an excuse for my stupid behavior here. Okay? I'm going to own that.
Okay.
So what do? I go in the bathroom and I take my sock off.
Oh,
And I got quite intimate with my toes. Because to me, feet are not in any way sexual. Like in my mind, it's just like, it's my foot.
Yeah.
If I can make this guy happy by playing with my toes, and if I can make 500 people laugh by playing with my toes, I'm going to play with my toes.
probably also make like $5,000 too.
Well, I mean, you should be charging extra for that 100%.
Well, I don't
if you
care.
have such great feet, you need to be on Foot Finder.
I think that, the feet kind of has to be attached to like not a 60-year-old man.
I don't think that's true.
I don't think so either. I think a lot of times they don't even see the person.
Well, maybe that's where I'm going to end up if the social
A lot of times they don't
media
even see the person because they don't want to see the person. They just want to see the feet of God.
I feel a side hustle coming.
That should be the title of your Foot Finder,
yeah,
feet
the
of
foot
God.
of God.
Sorry.
They're really nice.
Instead of the hand of God, it's the foot of
the
God.
Foot of God.
So the thing about that's very funny. The hand of God, by the way, is fake. The one like the golden nugget. You're talking about the golden nugget. It's called the hand of God.
Oh no, I didn't even know.
Okay,
about
the hand
that.
of God is golden nugget. We can get into that. In a second.
Wow.
Yeah, I would love to.
So
This is
when
fun.
you
I feel
make
like I'm learning so much
when you
about
make
Vegas.
when you make a video, the hand of God is a golden nugget that was found six inches under by someone in Australia. It was sold. I think it's 1,800 ounces, whatever. They don't have enough real ones, so they have a fake one at the one in Vegas. And you know who told me this? Vital Vegas. He's a very nice guy, Scott Rubin. I don't know if you know him or not. Vital Vegas. He's very big in town. He breaks a lot of stories. I get so much stuff from him. Wow, I'm going to go off on 90 different directions.
I know, sorry.
I met Scott. So they have this thing called the Oscar Dinner Series. And Jonathan Jostle's brilliant. And he puts me and Scott at the same table. And Scott from Vital Vegas, it's so funny when I meet people sometimes. Scott from Vital Vegas realizes he's at my table. And he comes over. And I can almost see him like looking at me sheepishly like, is this guy going to be an asshole with me? What is this guy? And I'm like, oh my God, Scott, I love you. I steal all your stuff. It's the truth. Like he breaks stuff. He 5 to 10% of my videos have been because of stuff he's given me. And I give him the credit.
Oh,
he deserves a little bit more.
That's cool.
So where was I? So I'm in there playing with my feet. So it goes on YouTube. It sits there. When you do a video on YouTube, when you do a live on YouTube, it stays on YouTube. So, of course, Mr. Irrelevant and or the dinosaur, one of the two of them, and or both of them, copy the video from YouTube and they send it to the Circa. Oh. So now the Circa contacts me and is like, if Derek finds out that, and he's the owner, he's the big maca over there, if Derek finds out that you were in our bathroom playing with your feet, all hell's going to break loose. And I'm like, okay, fine. I totally understand. I'm in bed with my girlfriend. I'm in my house in New York. She's right there. You know, when I did that, I remember that night. I shook a little bit because you have to understand something. This was the first casino hotel that paid any attention to me whatsoever, and I effed it up. after just a month of a decent relationship.
How would they know? It wasn't like the logo was behind your foot or anything. How would they know you were in the bathroom?
Because my haters, and I think it was either Mr. And by the way, Mr. Irrelevant posted it on his social media. Like he actually took it and posted it. I'm going to tell you that story in a second. Let me get into that in a
Do we
second.
know who Mr. Irrelevant?
No.
Yes, you're going to find out who he is.
Okay.
So that's a great story
I
too.
kind of hope you do
I'm
too.
really hoping.
Well,
I
wait till
know
you hear
who
this.
it
You're
is.
going to love this. So I shake a little bit. I'm nervous. I feel a little sick. You know, believe it or not, I'm a super sensitive guy, even though I have a huge, big mouth.
Oh, I can tell you're
So I
sensitive.
take the video down immediately. And I say, I'm so sorry, Richard. You know, his name's Richard Wilk. He's a great guy. His name should be out there. He's a great guy. I'm so sorry, Richard. I know you did this for me. I know you found me kind of in the middle of nowhere. No one ever paid attention to me, and I'm sorry. So I take the video down, and I know that I'm never going to be invited back to the circa again. And that's okay. Again, when you deserve something, okay, I'm okay with it. I still love the circa. I think if you're a young guy and you like sports gambling,
That's the place to be.
that's
huh?
the place to be. The energy, I don't know if you've ever seen like the old record players. You have the record player and then you have the
horn.
The
Sure.
horn.
Yeah.
So the sports book at the circuit is designed like an energy horn. So everybody gambling in the sports book, it's designed like a horn. I mean, if you look at it, it comes up and it goes like this.
Yeah.
If you're gambling on NFL or NCAA Saturday or there's a big sporting event, the Circa Sportsbook is a horn into the casino that pumps that energy, that
that's
electricity.
cool.
You're never going to find better gambling electricity than you find at the Circa. I give Derek Stevens a lot of credit on that.
Cool.
So now I can't go back there anymore. So around this time, Mr. Irrelevant, every single time I do a post on Vegas, Mr. Irrelevant, who at the time on his Vegas account only has 6,000 followers. This is important to the story. And I say, thank you. And Mr. Irrelevant says to me, nice video. And I say, thank you. I actually made a video of me saying thank you to him 25 times because I want to prove everything that I say or do has proof either in Google, you can Google it, or I have a video that proves it.
Oh, I know
So
who it is
I
now.
thank him. I thank him. He says, that's great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. My girlfriend, who tends to be skeptical, and of course, you know, she knows me as a total nobody. And she loved me as a nobody because I am very yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, okay, ma'am. Like, people teach you how you can treat them. And I know with my girlfriend that I have to be like super, super, super attentive, gentle, careful, respectful, because that's what does it for her. So if you know what does it for your girlfriend, I have no problem with that. My mother was a great woman, so I have no problem like totally respecting my girlfriend. So my girlfriend says to me, she goes, Mr. Irrelevant doesn't know who you are. Who are you? Because at the time I have like 90,000 followers. And I'm like, you're right. It's not Mr. Irrelevant. Because I was all hopped up because I'm all excited that Mr. Irrelevant even knows who I am.
Yeah.
So I take the phone and I put it down. She says to me, how is that Mr. Irrelevant? He only has 6,000 followers. But it's Mr. Irrelevant's Las Vegas account. But we don't put that together at the time. Like facts come out later. So I say, you're right, honey. Mr. Irrelevant would never know who I was. And this is the way I feel. I feel like, you know, like I'm 1 inch tall. So I put the phone down and I go to bed and I accept that, you know, that Mr. Irrelevant can't possibly know who I am. So about a month goes by and Mr. Irrelevant posts the following video. This is the real Vegas Pauly C. Vegas Pauly C is a criminal. He stole all sorts of players' points in Connecticut, and he was busted, and he got fired from his job. Paul Contino from Rhode Island. No, I'm not from Rhode Island. I'm from Long Island. It was Paul L. Contino. I'm Paul D. Contino. He posts a video blasting the shit out of me. Now, you have to remember something. I want you to really feel this set up viscerally, because I feel you're a sensitive person, because you just acknowledge my sensitivity. Here's a guy who was sending me a video, and I was saying, thank you. I'll show you the hands. I have the video. I have the video of me doing, you know, of my interaction with him. Sending me a video, nice job, thank you. 25, 30 times. My girlfriend told me, Mr. Irrelevant doesn't know who you are. And then I open up my phone, and there's Mr. Irrelevant blasting me and saying that Paul Contino is a criminal from Connecticut. I've read every gambling article for 30 years. As you can tell, I'm obsessed with gambling.
Yeah.
I already know about Paul Contino from Connecticut, from Rhode Island, different Paul Contino, because I already laughed 15 years ago when he got busted. And I said to myself at the time, I wonder how many people who know me tangentially, barely know me,
Yeah.
think it's me.
It's you. Yeah.
It's the same name. But it's Paul L. Contino and I'm Paul D. Contino. And he's 10 years younger than me. So he's 50 now, and I'm 60. So I immediately I take my phone and I throw it down. I'm the most low-tech content creator in the world. I'm shaking because I'm so excited.
Oh,
I take my
excited.
phone and I throw it down on the counter. I'm in my basement, and I make a video and I go, look at this idiot, Mr. Irrelevant. What a jerk. And another thing, why is he coming after me when all I've done is say thank you to him 20 times? All I've done has been polite. All I've done has been kind. Of course I've been polite. Of course I've been kind. Of course I've been respectful. Of course I've been submissive. This guy's one of the biggest influencers in America, or he was at one time in 2007.
Yeah.
He invented attacking people on the internet. You know who he is now.
Yeah.
So I make the video and I put it up. Now the war starts.
Oh, geez.
So now every single time I do something wrong, he attacks me. He puts me up on his social
Still?
media. Yeah.
Oh.
So I'll do a live where I'll get drunk and maybe I'll shove food up my nose. You have to understand something. I'm trying to entertain people.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do a live. The other day I did a live and I put a cross on my head of a cauliflower sauce or whatever. Maybe I'll get drunk and I'll attack Caesars. Maybe I'm trying to have fun.
Yeah.
So now at this point, I think he's backed off a little bit because every single time he puts a video up of me, people are like, why are you attacking Vegas Pauly C? He's just trying to have fun. I think a lot of people in Vegas, like the vast majority, because again, the comment section tells you everything about who you are, what you're doing, why you're doing it. If you go into my comment section on my posts, there's just so much love.
Yeah, that's
There's so many
awesome.
people going, Vegas Pauly C, and they'll write it out. Like so many people running up to me. I mean, I love it. It's narcissistic adoration. I'm not going to tell you it's not a drug.
Yeah.
Imagine never getting any attention. So you can't imagine this because, you're you.
Thank
But
you.
imagine
That's so sweet.
never getting any attention until you're 58 years old.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you get all this attention.
That's very cool.
So I love it. So he's really actively trying to discredit me. And look, he's young. He's rich. He's obviously smart. He's entertaining. He's a nice-looking guy. He's got a beautiful full head of hair. He's got beautiful teeth, beautiful smile.
Great kids.
Right. This is what I say to myself. Why are you coming after an old, beat-up, awkward, born with no pigment in their skin guy who's just trying to exist out here? Like, why? I still want to ask him. Like, there's other people who I understand why I deserve to get punched
Sure.
in the
Right.
face. But I will never understand
He's
why
never
this...
said?
I mean,
But
it's clearly just insecurity.
That's what I was thinking too.
You're a threat.
Yeah, of course. But you know what the wild thing was? He was our first guest on the show, and he preached this like love thing, like he just wants to collaborate and right? Like, am I wrong?
I have no animus towards him.
I mean, I don't know. He's always
I'm
been
so,
great with me.
there's a scene in the movie Casino. I think it's Casino, and they're actually at the Atomic Lounge. It was actually filmed in the Atomic Lounge down on Fremont.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And Nicky in the movie, what is his name? What the hell was his name? Oscar Goodman was his lawyer. Did you guys see the movie Casino?
Sure.
What's the Joe Pesci? By the way, I met Joe Pesci the other day. What's the Joe Pesci character's name
Yeah,
in that movie?
I don't remember the
It's
character's
not like
name.
Bugsy.
No.
Okay, so he's stabbing the guy in the neck with the pen.
I haven't seen this movie
And
in so
the
long.
De Niro character says, I'm still trying to figure out why he's stabbing him in the neck with the pen. Like,
Wait, that happened at the Atomic, the pen scene?
yeah,
Oh,
the
I
pen
didn't
scene
know
was at
that.
the Atomic Lounge.
That's
So
so
I was
cool.
told because
Yeah.
they invited me actually down to the Atomic Lounge to do a video, and I did it. And they told me about all of the garage, the scene from Kansas City. Kansas City back home was in the garage there at the Atomic Lounge. Like so much of good. I'm obsessed with the movie Casino. So I'm still trying to figure out like there's all the, whatever. Okay, there's the toes thing. I'm still trying to figure out like why is he stabbing me in the neck with the pen?
No, it's literally just insecurity. You are a threat because you're good at what you do.
But I'm
and
not
people...
a threat. I'm not.
But
No.
She's right there, and you also have connections. You have like.
Well,
you're-
now I'm getting connections, but at the time I had no connections.
Yeah, but also, like you said in your comments, it is love. And I don't think that's necessarily what maybe he's always experienced. And I think that it's just like immediate defense. So the best, like, his best bet is to be defensive immediately and to attack first because then he's like, what? Like, I think it's like a one-up.
I'm sorry, but in a million years, we can sit here for a million years, and you're never going to logically explain to me why a guy who you were sending his videos to, who's sending my videos back to me, who said thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and hands 25 times, why you would suddenly say he's a criminal from Connecticut and get the names wrong. That shift So now I can never trust the guy.
So,
Yeah.
but
You see that shift there?
Yeah. You never found out why he had a beef with you. Well, that's interesting because we knew that there was a beef, so we had him into.
I didn't.
Perez Hilton, come on in. Just kidding.
I would love to know. I would love to know, like, what the problem
well, maybe,
is.
Yeah, I think.
And even now, like, when
have
I
you
do.
tried to really find out, like, what's going
No,
on?
because when you are completely innocent in a situation, and I explained to you the beginning of our relationship. So not only was I totally innocent, not only was I giving him praise, my girlfriend thought that it couldn't possibly be him talking to me because I'm absolutely nobody.
Yeah.
So I had all of this purity. You can't be any more pure than be just a total nobody, right? In
Yeah.
his life. So then to get the attack, like, imagine every Tuesday at 3 o'clock you were supposed to meet someone for lunch, right? And they just didn't show up, didn't call, didn't say what was wrong. Could you ever really trust that person again? So I can't trust him.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
I don't know when he's going to stab me in the neck with the pen again. If I don't remember that Joe Pesci character, I'm going to kill myself.
Let's Google it real quick.
It's the movie. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's only because I'm slightly nervous being here.
Don't be nervous.
No, it's the Joe.
He's gonna find it for us.
Did you actually stop it for a second?
No, we're
he's
still
gonna-
recording.
He's gonna find
'Cause it
the
went out, okay.
character.
It's the Joe and Joe Pesci was at the South Point the other day. The South.
What?
Yeah, he went to go see a show.
No
and
kidding.
he was at it's the South Point, right?
Yes.
And somebody said to me, I want to tell you, the guy that invited me to the show at the South Point, it's a $10 show. It's really cool. It's on Thursday at 2 o'clock. He goes, I want to tell you that. And nobody knows this. This is what he told me. He texted me while I was in the audience. He goes, 3 booths down from you is Joe Pesci. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I would
So
have freaked out.
That's it, right there.
What was his character?
Right there on the left. I
Joe Pesci.
can't believe I had this.
Nikki
Nikki Santoro. Okay,
yeah.
so Nikki Santoro is the character
Amazing.
in the movie, and Oscar Goodman was his lawyer. For real. And Oscar Goodman is in the movie.
Yeah.
I talk about Oscar Goodman in a second.
Oscar Good. I love him.
Oh, he's unbelievable. You know, they have a dinner series.
No.
Oh, shout out to Jonathan Jossel again. See, I sit here and just die for Jonathan Jossel because he does so many cool things.
That is
When
really
you-
cool.
He has a dinner series at the. I just want to tell you really quick. I think everybody in the audience should know. He has a dinner series at the Plaza. Oscar Goodman Talks.
Oh my God, cool.
The next one is on November 20th. It sells
We
out
should
like
go.
that.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah, Jonathan will totally have you guys there because he has all social media people there.
Okay.
That's
Should
cool.
definitely contact
so
him.
much social media people. When you found out that Pesci was there, a friend of mine's a member at a golf club, a very exclusive golf club in L.A. We were playing golf one time. We were all on the green, and my friend was like, "Hey, look over there." And I was looking, and he was like, "That's Joe Pesci," and I couldn't breathe.
Right.
Like I don't get
Oh, you get so
starstruck.
excited.
I've
Right.
met so many people, and I couldn't even breathe. I was like. It was so cool. It was like I
I
felt
got
like I
so
was
excited.
seeing I can't even explain.
Yeah, it feels like you're
So I-
reading a real life mob boss.
I chased him outside, and he was going towards like his car or whatever. I said, "Listen, I got to tell you, Casino and Goodfellas, and one is a 1993 movie, one is a 1995 movie. They almost bleed into each other in my
Yeah,
mind because they're both
sure.
so great."
Was
Yeah.
he cool with you?
Oh yeah!
Oh,
I
that's
was
even
so
better.
afraid that I was going to annoy him.
That's why.
And he was
yeah.
super cool.
I
And he was
had
like,
that-
"Oh hi," but I'm like, "Oh."
I had that same opportunity in the parking lot at the golf club, but I was like, I'm not doing it.
No,
I was too
know
afraid
because
that
he's
I
the
was gonna
kind of guy. I
ruin
mean,
it.
he's Nicky Santoro,
Because
right?
you know
Yeah,
what
yeah,
happens
yeah.
is if somebody doesn't react,
Yeah.
then it kind of ruins that whole thing. So you're kind of afraid to try to say hi to somebody sometimes, like
Yeah,
that.
just keep it pure.
You
But
know,
I would have been,
yeah.
I would have been totally okay if he took a big poop on my head because I just wanted to like shake his hand
Yeah.
and just tell him
Sure.
that he was the greatest
Just be
thing
like,
ever.
"Thank you
know?
so
I
much
can't believe
for-
he was at the South
And
Point.
he was so cool. He was really incognito. I have a picture of him because I stalked him. He has a
Amazing.
hat on and he has his
Beard?
beard kind
Yeah,
of grown out.
yeah.
And you really don't know it's him.
Yeah.
And nobody there knew it was him. And I
Yeah.
only knew it was him because the producer from the show told me it was him.
What show was
Look
he
at that
seeing?
look on his face.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome.
They have a cool show, like a throwback show on Thursdays. It's $10 to get in. And, it's mostly, I was probably one of the younger people there.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
mostly older people. And it was really cool. I mean, I really enjoyed it.
I love that he was like, he's known for being, this mafia guy. But like for me, before I saw those things, he was the okay.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
go
yeah.
to the drive-through. They fuck you at the drive-through.
Yeah,
Remember?
yeah,
And
yeah.
like Lethal Weapon.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
was
yeah,
like
yeah.
the comic
And then
relief
that
on
other
that
movie,
show.
My Cousin Vinny, was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
or Home
Unbelievable.
Alone, even.
So great.
Right,
yeah.
a Home Alone, good.
Yeah, he's amazing. But yeah, back to the other thing that we were talking about.
Oh, yeah, I have a comment on that about
Mr. Irrelevant?
Mr. Irrelevant. I feel like another excuse, I'm going to give another excuse as to his actions, which I shouldn't, but like,
No, it's fine. My mind is open.
Okay, well, and again,
I'm not angry.
No, yeah.
Like there are people, for whatever reason, I'm going to tell you this straight out. I have no animus towards this guy.
And why would
Like,
you?
I feel like we could have been like buddies or something.
Exactly.
Even though, he's him and I'm nobody, but whatever.
No,
But the
you
point,
could have.
But the point is that now he stabbed me in the neck with the pen.
Yeah.
Why did I get stabbed in the neck with the pen? I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Just like De Niro was trying to figure out.
Yeah.
Why was, what's his name again?
Nikki.
Why was Nikki stabbing
What's your
him in the neck?
theory?
My theory is that, like, you know how some people just want to be the first one to expose and the first
Yes.
one to, like, I think
Spot
that,
on.
yes, I think that's
He got
more,
all caught up in the fact that,
Yeah.
okay, here's Vegas Pauly C. He's on the come up, but he's really a criminal from Connecticut. And he got way more. He said to himself, you know what? This content is worth so much more than my relationship with
Wow,
Vegas
yeah.
Pauly C that I'm going to
shame.
put this content out there. But
Did
then
he ever acknowledge when you corrected
Oh, he took
him?
down the video right away.
Oh,
Someone
that's
said
good.
that
That's good.
someone said
That's
that he
good.
was on the toilet. So I don't know how they know this. That he was on the toilet. He ran so quick to take the video down. He didn't have time to pull his pants up.
Yeah.
I have a copy of the video though.
Yeah.
I think
screen grab immediately.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know. I happened to see. I don't actually like see all the fight, all the stuff that you went through, and I don't see a lot of things. But I think I saw. He posted something saying he wanted to come to the Mexican restaurant.
Oh, I don't.
Oh,
even know.
yes,
Right?
you're right.
Well, that's a disaster too. I mean, that's a whole nother.
But no, I'm saying,
that's a whole nother
I'm
thread.
saying, I think that maybe that was some sort of olive branch that he was trying to say he wanted to come to the restaurant.
You know what it is, to be honest with you, I don't mean to talk over either
No,
one of
you're
you.
fine.
I'm so busy right now.
Yeah.
And I have so many people coming at me that if you're going to show me that you're that person, like in the very and you know this saying as
Yeah.
a girl, but if people show you who they are, believe them.
Yeah, you're true.
And for him to do
colors.
that like right away, like I'm already like,
Yeah.
I also, but I will say, and again, I'm not trying to defend him. I usually give people a lot of benefit of the doubt. Like he has been through a mess of shit in his life. Like and back.
Oh, I'm sure.
And sometimes when people go through all this roller coaster of crazy, which he really did. Like you're right, he was the biggest at a time,
right.
and he went through a lot of hate, death threats, all this stuff. Now he's a father, right? He's got some really cute kids that he dotes on. I've met him. I actually did a class with his kids, taught him how to walk on the tightrope, and he was very sweet with them. And I saw a different person than I remember with his kids, and I was like, oh, he was really in tune with his kids, and I had wondered what he was like as a father. So. And I'm not saying like even giving people the okay to treat other people shitty if
Yeah,
they
it's
went
not
through stuff.
okay.
It's not okay. But sometimes I'm like I give people a little bit of
He's
like
been through the
you're
war, I
probably
understand.
fucked up in there.
Yeah.
And he was on here saying that he doesn't want to do that anymore. But fuck, maybe it slips. You know what I mean? Maybe he has like a thing.
I'm not throwing him under the bus in any
No,
way. shape,
no,
or form.
no, yeah.
I think it's a fascinating journey though in social media.
Yeah.
Going from my girlfriend saying to me, he doesn't know who you are,
Yeah.
to like being attacked by him,
Yeah.
to like being on. He doesn't put me on his main page, but he puts me on the his Vegas page, Las Vegas Perez.
Yeah.
So I'll open up Las Vegas Perez because I didn't block him and he didn't block me. I'm not really into blocking people unless it's like really bad.
Right.
And then I'll see me doing something stupid. But it's important that the community of Las Vegas understands that. For instance, I'll do this thing, and it looks something like this. I like the way it looks when I see it on video because it almost looks fake. Like you would almost think that
we're
that was
definitely using that as a promo.
It was you would think that was almost like augmentation. And what I'll do with my live is, especially if my dopamine is good, I'll start doing. I'll say, "Let us pray," and I'll do that. And like they'll just my haters will take my stuff out of context. And
Yeah, of course.
I'll tell you a funny one that happened the other day. So I have this taco shop, and I don't even want to go down that thread, but I have to tell you something that happened at the taco shop. So I had a guy contact me, and he said Vegas Pauly C. And this has happened a few times, and this is the truth. And I could show you the DMs, but God only knows how long it would take me to find them. He said, I'm going to give you, I really want to meet you. I'm going to give you $500 if you just meet me. Now, I got paid $5,000 to meet a record company executive last February, and I really needed the money, and I spent the afternoon with him. But that's never really come into social media. Forget that for a second. So this guy says to me, I'll give you $500 just to meet you. And I'm like this. In my mind, I'm like, I'm really nobody. You really don't want to meet me. And like, now you gave me $500. Now I got to entertain you, and I gotta like
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
like I already know that like I'm probably gonna maybe be boring unless you give me a drink, then you're in big trouble. I'm probably gonna be boring, and maybe I'm not gonna give you like how do I give somebody $500 worth of me?
Yeah.
So the solution that I came up with was look, and the guy's name is Hey Yo Chuck. He actually has 147,000 Instagram followers. Super nice guy. I say, hey yo Chuck, will you make a donation to feed families that are disadvantaged? Because my taco shop is doing terrible. Better, way better now, but it was really doing bad because of the haters. And on Wednesday, all the family has to do is come in and say, and today's Wednesday, by the way, is say happiness to the cashier, because I don't want to make a whole thing. If you say happiness to the cashier, it's kind of incognito. Nobody embarrasses themselves. Oh, I'm here for free food, whatever. Just say happiness very subtly to the cashier, and I will take the $500 that you gave me for meeting me, and we'll give it away to the family. Now,
that's awesome.
it solves two things. I don't have to feel bad about
Yeah,
the $500,
yeah.
Amazing.
right? It gets me business for my taco shop, and it feeds poor people.
Yes.
So we did this on Wednesday, and someone else saw it and gave me another $500.
Wow.
And that video, that was about 5 days ago. So today is Give Back Wednesday at Tacos Pauly C. I almost said it wrong. At 750 South Boulder Highway. So if you come in, and I said to people, I said, mothers with families, even better, because that's a tough situation to be in.
Yeah.
You got 2 kids, 3 kids, 4 kids. And a 9-year-old just wants to have fun, just wants to have a taco, right? Just wants their mom to take them out. So I did this a second time, and the haters are like, nobody's going to give you money for meeting you. This and I'm like,
oh my God.
I'm like, the guy's right here in my video. But this is the funny part of the story. So he comes into the shop. Now you got to remember something. When someone comes into my shop and I got to make a video, almost everything I do is one take. I'm not going to redo a take.
Yeah.
I can't do a take with a burrito from Chipotle again.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to break it twice. I'm not going to show you the inside
Right.
twice. And I'm not going to eat it twice.
It also makes it more real when you do it. Like,
But it's real. And I got to tell you that Chipotle story. That's a good one, too. So the guy comes in my shop. The guy's wearing a MAGA hat. He's wearing a red MAGA hat, okay? I swear to God on my mother's soul, and I don't do politics on my show. So you can just guess one way or the other what I am or what I'm not.
It's hard.
But I want to tell you this. I don't see the hat. I don't even notice the hat. Mm-hmm. I don't see anything about the guy physically because I just want to do a nice video. I want to get that $500 into the account for the business, for the taco shop, also for the charity, right? It's fantastic. You know how many people I'm going to feed?
Yeah, it's really
I'll
great.
feed 10 families like that with $50 a piece. I mean, they can eat 1 million tacos. The tacos are $3 a piece. So I just want to get the video done. I put it up on social media, and then the attacks come.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And then there's this website that just puts hate on me, and they show me, and I'm just being physical with the guy because I'm like, wow, thank you so much. I mean, my God, this guy. And he's a computer programmer. He worked for Apple. But he's got the MAGA hat on. Vegas Pauly C supports hate.
Oh, no.
I didn't even see the hat, so help me God.
Wow.
Not only that, I'm going to be real honest with you. I'm not going to ask someone who's contributing $500 in charity to change anything about them. Come in here, you be you, give the $500, whatever. So this is a way that the haters get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really sad. When
that is
that's the saddest thing is when people are helping and people are trying to attack.
blown
I see that all the time, and I would even defend people like Bono from U2 who did so many things,
Oh,
but
I
they were
know.
like,
He's
the best is when people say, yeah, but he's just doing it to look good. It's like, who fucking cares? People are getting helped. Like, who cares what the reason is? Like, maybe it's genuine, maybe it's not. But if people are getting millions of dollars or whatever, if you're giving, who cares?
Well, I had turned down money
Drives me
probably
fucking
around 10 times. One was $1,000. I look back on it now and I'm like, wow, I really should have done this back then. But I didn't have control of the shop at that time. So I had turned down money like 10 times. 10 times by the way, the $5,000 offer that I took, I didn't give any of it. I mean, full disclosure, I didn't give any of it to charity. I think I gambled it away. It was a large amount of money to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, and plus I didn't have the taco shop at the time. So I put this together, and this is what I'm doing. So somebody came in yesterday, and they just contributed $100 to this
Amazing.
Give
That's
Back
so
Wednesday
sweet.
thing. So the Chipotle video. This is the truth on the Chipotle video. So I say to myself, I know that our taco, our Jose invented it. It's called the donkey burrito, not our taco, our burrito. I know our burrito is unbelievable. How do I know it's unbelievable? I'm eating it myself 3 or 4 times a week, and I have a taste for it in my mouth. And if I ever get it with alcohol, I'm going to gain 10 pounds. And I'm eating this thing, and I'm like, wow, this is incredible. So I don't really remember and or know and or can even grasp in my mind what the Chipotle burrito is or isn't, because I haven't had it in 10 or 15 years. But I've been eating this authentic Mexican burrito for like 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
So I go over to Chipotle, I grab the burrito. I have Jose actually picked it up. I put it down on the table. I put my burrito next to it. There's no redoing stuff. Now, the reason why is when you have no dopamine, I have just enough gumption, chutzpah, whatever you want to call it, to get up for that 2 or 3 minute video, and then at the end, by 5 o'clock, I'm asleep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have my old man nap, so I can give up
Same.
myself for 2 or 3. See, and you're not even an old man, so I got to have my nap. So I could give up myself for 2 or 3 minutes. So when I do a video like that, it is 100 million, 1,000 billion% authentic. Like I would love to take you down to the shop and put that burrito.
Yeah.
Because first of all, the tortilla was raw, doughy, gloopy, and uncooked.
I saw
The
video.
contents look like hospital food. And when I actually tasted it, now I have been eating authentic, semi-spicy burritos now for months. When I tasted the American burrito, the Chipotle burrito, it tasted like garbage. But it really did. It's not because I own the place. It's not because I'm trying to drive business. When I went into the video, I said to myself, I wonder if these are going to be close.
Yeah.
They weren't even close. And I'll give you an example of what
And
I'm
the
talking
guac,
about.
guac is extra.
Right. The guy that stole the taco shop from me, so the taco shop at 4440 Washington, they pirated it from me. They bullied me. They
Oh my
threatened me. They
God.
stole the entire shop. It's a $2 million business. Stolen from
What?
me. But wait, I want to tell you something. His food is fire. So the guy that robbed me from a $2 million business has stolen everything, did everything duplicitous. I'm looking you right in the eyes now and telling you that his food is better than my food. By the way, my haters will take this and they'll put this on my hate page. Me admitting that his food is better. His food is amazing. It's a 10. Are we a 9? I think we're there now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm being honest with you. So if I'm going to admit that the guy who punched me in the face, robbed me, stole my business, death threats, if I'm going to admit all of that to you, if I'm going to sit here and tell you that his food is unbelievable, why wouldn't I tell you that Chipotle was unbelievable?
Yeah.
Chipotle's the worst, man. I am telling anybody out there, if you have this burrito from Chipotle, this soupy, gloopy, floppy, uncooked tortilla, and then you try our donkey burrito, it's like me and my girlfriend. My girlfriend is adorable. And then I told my girlfriend this. I said, I should have put this in the video. I said, look, honey, this is you. She's the tacos Pauly C burrito. And I'm the Chipotle burrito. Because there's a tremendous disparity. Now, she's 30 years younger also, which is, a whole nother
Good
thing.
for you.
So it's just honesty.
Yeah.
If I had done the video and Chipotle was an 8 and I was an 8, I'd be like, okay. But they still cost $3 more. I would have centered it on the price.
Yeah.
It's called a donkey burrito.
Ours is called the donkey burrito.
Why is it called the donkey burrito?
Because burrito. This is what Jose told me. So if I'm wrong,
Oh, interesting.
burrito means donkey. That's what he told me.
Like burro.
Burro, right?
Yeah.
Burro.
Interesting. I never thought of that.
Yeah, I
never
didn't
knew
either.
that.
But Jose teaches me a lot.
That's
so
awesome.
The guy, I can't talk enough about him. He's like my brother,
Yeah.
And it's Vegas Pauly C, like C Senor, like SI, right?
I changed it to
Yeah,
C. So
that's
then
good.
everybody said, that's such a mistake. That's a terrible name.
that's brilliant.
But here's the thing. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I need to enjoy it. So I love going in there. I need to enjoy what I'm doing. If I don't, that's the thing about ADHD people. If they don't love it, they won't do it at all. That's why you have these kids in school that just will not study because they don't love that subject. They might excel at something, but they just will not study. That's ADHD because you're not enjoying it. So I knew when we reopened this shop, and it cost me $30,000 to reopen it because the guy that was our partner stole every piece of equipment, including all the garnishments on the stoves. He took everything. I knew when I reopened it that I wasn't going to enjoy the journey unless I named it Tacos Pauly C. Unless I named it that, I knew I wasn't going to enjoy the journey. It's not ego. It's not narcissism. I was ending my videos, and again, everything is in the record, everything is proof. And nobody's going to do this, but I'll tell you straight out. I was curious as to when I started saying Vegas Pauly C at the end of my videos. If you go back to April 4th of 2023, the very first video, and I think it's the Signature Towers, I did a tour of the room there. At the end of that video, I thought to myself, it's so awkward when it just ends and I don't even say anything. So I'm just going to say my name. And at the end of the video, I go, Vegas Pauly C. Just like that. And then as I started getting more success and more hopped up and started enjoying it more, then it became stylized because, and this is the reason it works. Like, I actually know why it works. I'm mentally getting myself off. So because I'm mentally getting myself off by saying, Vegas Pauly C, because it does it for my dopamine, all of the people who are dopamine deficient in the country hear it and go, oh,
they feel it.
it's doing something for me too.
Interesting.
So inadvertently, I ended up mentally getting off a lot of people. And now people run up to me all the time and they say it to me. And I'm like, yeah, you
That's
know. Wow.
amazing.
You're like, you're welcome.
But it was totally an act. It's not like I sat there and thought about it.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the Howard Stern movie back in the day?
No.
No.
Oh, yes, of course I saw the Howard Stern
Where he
movie,
has the
yes.
girl sit on the speaker and he does his.
Oh, yeah, yeah, he's great.
You should do that. You should do that.
I actually, you know that I actually do that? It's so funny that you should say that because I get two phones and I go in my apartment and I put my iPods in and I do the for me in my ears, and
That's
then the
funny.
people listen to it but it's kind of silly. But one more thing that's important. Do you know why babies say mama first word? Do you know why? I actually did the research. The reason why babies say mama first is because when you repeat something, it creates dopamine. Anything that repeats creates a dopamine rise. So because babies want to feel good because they're natural, they're creatures that are just all natural, right? They're innocent. They're completely innocent. Them going mama creates a little bit of a dopamine rise, and it's enough for them to make it their first words.
Aw, that's so sweet.
As a lead into that, remember now, I'm totally dopamine deficient. The whole beginning of my videos, well, hello, it's Vegas Pauly C. That was just me again creating the dopamine so that I can do the video.
Interesting.
Yeah, getting yourself
And
to that.
I did not even realize that, I would say for 6 months. And I knew about the repeating. And then I was like, wow, I'm repeating at the beginning of my videos because I'm actually getting myself psychologically ready for the video. It's all self-care.
It's wild.
It's all organic. It's all real.
It
Because
works, too.
I'm an addict.
Yeah.
Like is it registering with anybody that an addict in its addicted state, if you think about it, is one of the most pure creatures in the world. If it has its drugs.
Right.
It only becomes because it just wants to sit there and do its addiction. It's not really thinking about what you think about it. It's not really thinking about impressing you. You're sitting there, if you have your drugs, you have your needle in the arm, right? You're sitting there and you're just high and you're like, Where it becomes impure is when you have to go and get the financial, the sustenance in order to get the drugs.
Yeah.
So I'm not paying anything to do a video. It's
Right.
all free. So like I'm getting off,
Yeah.
So I'm in a natural state, And I tell casino people, I meet a lot of casino executives, and we have these conversations. And I told Jonathan Jossel from the CEO of the Plaza, I said, look, I'm going to tell you straight out. I know what's in the needle because I need what's in the needle. So I had gone to 3 or 4 casino executives and I said to them, they took away this game in Las Vegas. It was only in one place. It was at the Mandalay Bay. It's called 345 Pop Craps. And I'm telling you, I got goosebumps talking about it. It's what's in the needle for gamblers. So I said to Jonathan, I said, look, this game Pop Craps, but with 3-4-5 odds. Everybody in Las Vegas has it at 2 because the casino executives are cheapskates and they have no vision. I said, Jonathan, if you put this game in the frontier of your casino, you're going to do great. I'm so proud of myself that a CEO from a casino actually listened to me.
They did
Yeah,
it?
that's
And
awesome.
he put it right in the front of his casino. He put the 345 Pop Craps. But this is why he's a great owner. I said to him, Jonathan, how's the machine doing? He's like, Paul, it's great. I'm so glad I put that machine there. He has an English accent. And then he said, it takes in a ton of money, of course, but it only holds a very small amount. So in other words, he's looking at this gigantic amount of money coming into his casino, right? But he's only holding a small percentage of a gigantic amount. And then he said, I never forget some of the stuff that comes out of his mouth, but I guess that's what it's supposed to do because you're showing everyone how to play it properly. So in other words, instead of being a casino executive who sees $10 million come in and maybe he keeps 10,000 and being like, we got to go back and get that other $9,990,000. How are we going to get more of that piece? I can't have all this money coming through my casino and I only keep this much.
Yeah.
Instead of him being that guy, he realized that he's giving people a great game, an opportunity to win, and a lot of action for a little bit of money. I once won 17 times in a row on that game.
Wow.
There's video evidence of it in New York.
Wow.
I'll be winning 17 times. And so I'm getting all these DMs from people. I went and I played Pop Craps at the Plaza. You're right, it's a great game. I had a girl who, God, thank you, God, she had 1.4 million followers. I didn't even know when I met her. I had this girl named Amanda. I forgot her last name. I got invited to the mansion, her boyfriend and her. She goes, oh, I'm a TikToker too. Sweetest girl. Amanda, it ends with an S. She has 1.4 million followers. I took her down there with her boyfriend. They played poppers. They won $800. They started with 200. They cashed out 1,000. They're looking at me like, oh my God. I said, can you do me a favor? She goes, yeah. Jonathan had asked me to do a video of the outside. He fixed up the outside of the plaza. He made it beautiful. He has the bar there, the carousel bar. I don't know if you've seen it or not. The pink box donuts, and he made Oscars really nice to put a patio outside.
Is the plaza the one with all the light bulbs?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do a video of the bar, but I can't think of a hook. Like me at the bar at the plaza. So I have Amanda there. So I put Amanda at the bar, and I did a little video. She has 1.4 million followers. Of course, it got 500,000 views because she's fantastic. I wish if she would move to Vegas, my job would be, Amanda, please. She's like, it was funny because when I did my video of her, I kept saying, Southern Cutie, Belle. I'm like, I couldn't come up with Southern Belle. I couldn't remember the video. When you get old, you forget certain terms. She's a Southern Belle. And it was fantastic. So if you can meet people who have tremendous followings, it helps you a lot.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
I don't really know anybody.
Yeah, right.
You know everybody.
Yeah, it seems like you know everybody.
Well, you know what I mean. Like,
Do you
her.
go and see shows in Vegas?
So I got invited to the show at the South Point, which was really cool. It was only $10. It's sold out every week. I actually have a video of a group there who performs, and they do musical instruments with their mouths.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if you've seen them. They're really good. I'm probably going to put it up. And a bunch of old-time singers. And then I got invited to the premiere. I love stuff like this. I got invited to the premiere of Mavericks, which is like
cool.
an old
Yeah,
Vegas
yeah.
show at the Plaza.
Yeah.
Very entertaining. I had a lot of fun there.
Your
Yeah.
And
friends
I
were
did-
in that.
They were.
Oh,
in it.
your-
They're gonna-
your friends are in it, really?
Yeah, they do. I don't think they're in it right now, but they do the crossbow act where they shoot the crossbow, the arrow.
Oh,
up
I
it.
didn't see the one with the crosswalk.
They're coming back.
Okay, did they rotate acts?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is cool about that show is you go back and
Well,
see
what's
different
cool
things.
about it is it's only $60.
Yeah, that's great.
And I think it's like $35 for people who live in town.
That's
Oh,
how it
cool.
always. Well, Absence was like that too. Tickets were only like $75 when
Okay.
we first started.
69.
60. All right, 69.
Well, that's super nice because like a slice of pizza and a Coke is like $30 now.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah,
you can go,
it's
if you're a
true.
local and you go see a show for $35.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
But this
amazing.
is the stuff that he's doing down there.
Yeah, it's
So,
awesome.
when he contacted me, I was like, wow. And then it turned out that he's like the most progressive guy in Vegas.
Wait, where's Mavericks at?
At the Plaza.
Oh, it is.
We should all go when your friends are back in the
Yeah.
show. We should all go together. That'd
Yeah.
be fun.
It's
Yeah.
definitely fun. I didn't know they rotated the acts in and out.
Yeah,
cool.
which is cool. And she's great. Amy Misbehave. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
she's great.
She's great. Yeah.
She's a New Yorker, I think.
Is she? Wow, she has
Yeah.
that New York energy.
And actually, the girl who taught me my balloon act was in the show.
Oh, yeah.
Julie.
Oh, you do a balloon act?
I did, yeah. In Absinthe, I used to tap dance topless in the giant balloon.
No.
Yeah.
Wow, so you should really be in the show at the Plaza. Can't they fit
I
you
don't
in
know
somewhere?
that. I don't know that Julie would like that
Would you-
because I think she's in it.
Are you doing it? Do you still perform?
No, not anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we haven't-
That would be. Wouldn't that be fun for you though, or no?
No, I would love to perform
Oh,
again.
put her in. Put her in. What's it called again?
Mavericks.
Mavericks.
Maverick.
Yeah.
Put her in Maverick. Somebody.
Yeah.
That's
We-
funny.
We do more of our own thing now, I guess. Like, right? We don't really. It's really nice not having a boss anymore.
Right. But you guys are really big. I mean, you guys should be on the Plaza podcast. Like he has, important Vegas people come on his podcast.
Oh,
Like,
I didn't know that.
Did you know he has his own? Jonathan has a
No.
podcast.
No,
it's called
that's
it's
cool.
called On the Corner of Maine.
Oh, cool.
And he has
That's a good name.
He has a whole bunch of people there that
Very cool.
are big in Vegas.
Well, you should make the connection.
I'm going
You should
to.
connect
I'm going to.
everybody. I feel like that is kind of like that's a cool thing to become, and I think that you will do that as like just being a connector.
Oh,
you
I have
know?
to tell you a great story. So I'm at Circa, and I'm talking to Eli Gold is his name. Great guy. And he had contacted me. He had DM'd me on Instagram, and he says, "Hi, it's Eli Gold." He goes, "I'm redoing the El Portage Theater on Fremont. Will you come down, ABCD?" He actually offered me a considerable amount of money, and I said to him, "Eli, I don't really take money like that." But now I'm thinking I'll put him back together with the taco shop. Like I'm revisiting that in my head. But anyway, so he's reopening the El Portal Theater, which is right on Fremont. So I love meeting, he's a mover and a shaker in town. He came here, he opened a bunch of shops, and he's redoing something like that. So I took him to Circa, and I was having coffee with him, and this guy comes behind him, and he goes, "Excuse me, I hate to bother you." And I said, "No, it's no bother." He goes, "Vegas Pauly C, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I had my girlfriend reach out to you like 2 months." This is so me. Like, I know I did this. I had my girlfriend reach out to you 2 months ago, and she said to you, "How would you like to be on a television show?" And you said, this is so me. I said, "You don't want me on a television show." And I go, "Well, I don't remember that specifically, but it sounds like me, so it sounds like the truth." He goes, "Well, when you're done talking with," and the guy's name is Eli, he's opening the El Portal Theater. "When you're done talking, can I talk to you for a minute?" So I go, "Yeah, absolutely." And he looks, well, first, a very nice looking gentleman, my age, but like so distinguished, and you can just see he's got so much class or whatever. So I'm excited to go sit down and talk to him because, he looks unbelievable. And I'm just going to use his first name for now because I don't know if he wants his last name out there.
Sure.
His name's Steven, and he's a big mocker. So he sat down and he met with me, and now we've like become friends, and now we're like working on some stuff.
Cool.
And everything is coalescing, and it's like, wow. So when a cat, this is a true story. Maybe I shouldn't be telling this, but I don't think there's anything embarrassing here except maybe to me. When a cat catches like a mouse or a bird and it brings it to its owner.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I already know Jonathan Jossel, who's like one of the most powerful people in Las Vegas. And I meet this guy who's like probably one of the most powerful people I've ever met. But they don't know each other. So like a cat, I put Steven the mouse.
There you go. Yeah.
And I'm like, "Jonathan, look what I got." I put them together. Of course. It's like, it's like a moment of serendipity.
Yeah,
like,
just no-brainer.
I just don't even deserve this moment.
Yeah.
Because I just happened to be
Or
at the
you
Circa.
do.
No, I don't. If you knew who it was, no, I don't.
Oh.
It's like that level. Like, this guy's used to working with, Hollywood royalty. And there's me, you know what I mean? So you're going to find out about this over the next couple months because we're working on projects together.
Cool.
So cool.
So I delivered them, and they're like this. They're like buddies now.
Oh, my God, amazing.
And they talk on the high level, and I sit there and I listen to them. And I love this about myself. You ready? I know you're probably not allowed to say this, but I don't care.
Yeah.
When I meet people who are just so much better than me, so much more intelligent, so much more class, so together, so powerful, I'm like, this is great. Like, there's no animus. Like, when I was in 8th grade, I wrote a paper, and I thought it was the greatest paper in the world. And my friend right across here, his name's Eric. Shout out to Eric wherever you are. He actually cut me because he was just too wonderful for me, but that's okay. Eric writes this paper, and I read my paper, and I think I'm great, and then I read his paper, and we're in 8th grade, and I go, oh, my God. And he went to Yale, to give you an idea where he ended up. And he actually ended up as a Hollywood producer also. A lot of people from my area ended up, Joe Roth, who worked at Disney and was like the head of Disney, went to the same high school as me. A lot of people went places because it was an area where the people who grew up in the economically disadvantaged areas of Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx, Manhattan, the big move was to make it out to Long Island. I always tell people on podcasts, I was born on third base. I was born with every advantage. But I'm so screwed up that by the time I was 52, I'm back at bat. I'm like, I'm starting all over again because, I gambled away all my money. So, people always say, how much money have you lost gambling? I'm like, I've actually lost probably as much in the stock market as I gambling because I was using stock market as a gambling tool. Probably lost about $4 million,
Wow.
And it's put me back to the point where I'm on the street in Las Vegas doing social media. The other day, I did a video of the link. The link got sold. I don't know whether you know that or not.
Yeah,
Not
I
the
saw
link
that.
itself, but the promenade.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of this. I'm sitting on the curb in the parking lot on the other side of the link, like kind of in the dirt. And, I FaceTime my girlfriend, and I'm like, look how scrappy I am. I'm in the dirt outside. And it's true. Like, I'll do anything for a story. A great story. When Death Valley filled up with water, I don't know whether you saw these videos or not. When Death Valley filled up with water, I ran up there because it was Death Valley Lake. It's actually my best series of videos. Got 6 million views on Instagram and because I stood there and I said, Death Valley is now a lake, and this is Death Valley Beach. And Death Valley it actually has a name. I learned later. It's called Lake Manly.
Oh.
When it fills up with water, which is about every 20 years, they call it Lake Manly. And of course, I went in and it went up to a little over my knee, and I tried to walk across it. It's like 3 miles across. I only made it halfway. And then, of course, everybody in social media wants me to taste it, right? What does it taste like? And you know me. And again, this goes back to the toes video. I'm just trying to make people laugh.
Yeah.
So the people who are risk averse are like, well, there's all kinds of metals in that water, and there's all kinds of chemicals. I don't care.
People.
I don't care. I tasted it. It was the saltiest thing I've ever tasted in my life. I threw it back in the water. Which is another quick story. So when they knocked down the Tropicana, I'm in the casino and I look outside, and it's just dust and smoke everywhere, outside the doors. So I know I'm probably maybe going to get cancer. I don't know what I'm going to get from walking into that dust cloud. But it's a good video.
Yeah.
So I went right out the door into the dust cloud. And then somebody in the casino was like, yeah, you're the reason that the dust is even... And he's like giving me shit on the video. I don't know whether he was an employee or whatever. The point is, I'll take a little risk for the show.
Yeah.
If it's good content, if I can make people laugh by walking in the dust cloud from the Tropicana. Did I go out there and breathe deeply and intentionally give myself asbestosis? No, I did not.
Right.
I kind of was careful about it, but it's fun. I want to have fun.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Tropicana and the A's coming into town, I'm going to put this out there now since we're buddies.
Yeah.
I would like for you to help us get connected on season tickets. So just putting that out to the
Well, I already probably have so much hate from John Fisher because he doesn't have the money.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
And now he's trying to sell a quarter of the...
And the owner doesn't have any money either.
The
owner of the A's, I mean.
It's very hard for me to get credibility with my girlfriend. So I did a video over on the corner of the lot about the fact that John Fisher is selling 25% of the team for $500,000. It's on my Instagram. I put it up about 2 weeks ago. And I really flowed on this video. It turned out really great. And what's Dave Portnoy's website?
Oh, God.
Barstool.
Oh, yeah.
Barstool picked up my video.
Oh, shit.
And not only did he pick up, I'm going to cry. Not only did he pick up my video, but he said that I flow like the rivers of Babylon.
Wow.
That you need to follow this guy. And I sent it to my girlfriend, and she's like, okay. Now that Barstool Sports recognized you, now I'm going to say, maybe you got something going on. And I was like, wow. That was so nice. And Carl is the writer at Barstool Sports. Thank you, Carl, wherever you are. I don't really know much about Barstool Sports because I'm really more in the gambling space.
Yeah.
But, they have 20 million followers, and, Portnoy's worth $1 billion, and he's got this, he's unbelievable social media presence.
Yeah.
So that was a big deal for me.
Sure.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
What is your Instagram at now, you're following?
I'm at 360, but I am stalled because I have no money to gamble. So I'm stuck in the news space. The other day I had $100 extra, and I ran over to. So I started. I don't care about sharing any of this stuff. So I started my social media, and I had a decent amount of money in the bank. But last March, I remortgaged my house, and I pulled $600,000 out of it.
Oh, man.
And it's March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. So that's 20 months. So I had been on a winning streak. Last year was the first year I won gambling in 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And
What part of town do you live in?
I live in the Allure Apartments. $2,700 a month. It overlooks the fairgrounds, which was a great video because they had that huge concert there the other day where they had 1 million. I got 1 million views on that video.
Is it on the Strip?
I live right across from where the Strip was born. So the Strip was born on the corner of Sahara and Las Vegas Boulevard, right? The El Rancho was the first casino hotel that opened in 1941, had 65 rooms. The Buffet was also born there in 1946. And I wake up in the morning, and it's really an accident. It really wasn't a thought I want to live right across the street from where the Strip was born. And I wake up in the morning, and I look at the fairgrounds, which is now owned by Phil Ruffin. He bought it from MGM. It's 103 acres. He uses it as fairgrounds for musical festivals.
Oh, yeah, when we were young and stuff.
Right, that was right there. And I look at that, and I've done a couple of videos from my balcony. And then if I want to do a video, I can turn the camera around and show the
That's
Fontainebleau
awesome.
and resorts. So it's a very convenient place to live. I pay $2,700 a month. I did a tour of my apartment. I have no furniture. I live like an animal. My mattress is on the floor.
Like a
I
gambler.
mostly eat Cheerios and drink coffee. And I'm all in. You know, I'm all in. The way I feel about this job as social media, I feel like I got to give it my all, and maybe something will come from it. My disadvantage right now is I really ran through the $600,000. So after I won 190 last year, but I'm getting killed this year, and I'm like, and it's funny because I have two friends who have a lot of money. Oh, and I also lost $100,000 in the taco shop. That's a whole nother story. So I'm suffering. You know, I'm really suffering.
Are your are your social media pages monetized? Like all of them?
So I make $4,000 from my videos on TikTok. If I'm doing okay.
Through Instagram?
Instagram, I only make $15
That's what I was
from
wondering.
15 million views.
So wait, which one are you talking about when you say
TikTok, I make 4,000.
Consistently or average?
Very consistent.
Okay.
Pretty consistent.
Are
if
you
I'm
in
out
the
here.
beta program or?
It's called the Creator Fund.
Yeah, okay.
So then I also have 109 subscribers on Instagram who pay $5 a month, so I get a check for $380 there. I get about $300 from my YouTube, so now we're at $4,700. I get $1,000 a month from the Peppermint Hippo, which is the funniest
strip
thing in the
club?
world. I got to tell you this story.
That's a strip club?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my girlfriend, she's so cute. I love her so much. I had a history up until I was 48 years old of going to these places. Why? I'm an awkward guy. I'm never going to see a girl with a body like that in my life. So I go to the bar and I'm seeing girls that wouldn't spit on me in the real world. Okay, that's the God's honest truth. I give them $20. They pretend to like me for 5 minutes, and it's doing it for me. So from 21 to 48, I go there. When I'm about 48, I start to get that hate. You know, I start to get the old man comments. I mean, I guess I looked a lot older at 48, whatever. I start to get that hate, and I'm like, you know what? I think I really aged out of these places. So I pretty much stopped going. My girlfriend knew this history, and she used to say this funny thing to me all the time. This story's going to wrap up in 20 seconds. It's not going to be one of these long old man stories. She said to me, if she said to me once, she said it to me 30 times, you can go, but you can't spend a penny. And I used to laugh. I used to say, well, I'm never going to go to one of those places because the minute you go in there, you got to spend money. Otherwise, you're the biggest creep in the world. They'll throw you out. They'll actually throw you out on Long Island if you come in, you don't spend money. She would say it, and I would laugh to myself, well, I'm never going. And I didn't want to go. I really don't want to go because I don't want to dishonor her. You don't even know the love that I have for this girl. It's insanity. So what happens? I get a job at a strip bar where I don't have to spend a penny to be there.
You actually get paid to be there.
I get paid $1,000, and I don't spend a penny when I'm there because, you know, I'm not going to spend my $1,000. What am I going to do?
paid?
Get it?
Are you showing your feet there? What are you getting paid for?
Very good. High five.
What do you know? But seriously, what are you getting
Okay,
paid for?
so I just hang out and talk about it, and they like
So
the
social media
fact
stuff.
they like the fact that I have like a. So I did a video.
So you're like a promoter.
They do promos. So they did a promo where they had 4 girls come with me. This was the Poppy Steak promo. So here's my Poppy Steak conundrum. Poppy talks to me. He actually has conversation. We have each other's text numbers. He texts me, I text him, whatever. He's such a great. You have no idea. This guy deserves everything he has. He is a late in life success. His restaurant at the Fontainebleau is effing unbelievable. It's a disco with unbelievable food. I mean, there's a video of me on YouTube. I get wildly inappropriate, but just drunk and insane.
I want to hang out with you.
He's sending over the blintzes. He's sending over the caviar. He's sending over the alcohol. I found out later he paid for the whole thing. So anyway,
good guy.
so what happened was I don't want to go there and take advantage of my friendship with Poppy because it's a $2,000 meal. You
Yeah.
know, by the time they bring the steak out, whatever. I never go. My boss at the Peppermint Hippo, I know the best people in Las Vegas. This guy at the Peppermint Hippo, his name is Ritter. Oh, my God. Ritter is the sweetest, nicest, kindest, gentlest, most wonderful boss I've ever had in my entire life.
Shout out to Ritter.
Shout out to Ritter at the Peppermint Hippo. So Ritter says to me, I'm doing a promo. You're going to be going to Poppy Steakhouse. I'm like, yes! Because now I want to go, but I don't want to put it on poor Poppy.
Right.
And I don't want to be like a taker. But so now for my job, I have to go. You see the way this all came
Yeah,
together?
it's
So now I'm
perfect.
ecstatic.
Yeah.
So just to tell you what I do. So the 4 girls are all outside. And I say, well, hello. It's Vegas Pauly C. We're going to be going to the, wherever the hell we're going. I already lost it. The steakhouse, Poppy Steak. and I show the girl, it gets 1 million views on Instagram. So they're happy.
Yeah.
You know, if you show beautiful women, and you know this from personal experience, I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. If you show beautiful women on social media, you're going to get a lot of views. So that's what I do over there. Like I just asked Ritter, I haven't done a video there in like a month or two. I just asked Ritter, can you put a couple of girls outside tonight? And then the best part of me is, this is really the best part of me, I'm in love with somebody. Like I'm in an ironclad monog, and I don't work dirty, and I don't make comments to these girls, and I'm not pushing up on them. And like, I can see the awkwardness sometimes. And my whole job is to express to them, look, you're young enough to be my daughter. I already have a girlfriend who's young enough to be my daughter. So I'm not going to, don't worry about me. I just want to have fun.
Right.
I just want to drink. You're not going to hear inappropriate. You can watch the whole video of me at Poppy say, yeah, come on. I know as a man, and I will tell the world this, and this is good information for the whole world, those inappropriate comments that come out of a man's mouth, they don't come from a good place.
Right.
They come from frustration. They come from anger. And a lot of times they come from violence. That's why they say objectification is violence. Like I understand that objectification is violence. So I'm out with these girls. I just want to screw around, put food up my nose. You know what I mean? Like I want to get drunk. Like I disturbed the table behind me. They actually wrote a nasty review about my existence on this planet and sent it to Poppy.
Oh my gosh.
Someone sent it to me like, that disgusting animal, Vegas Pauly C, was at Poppy. But I'm having a good time, you know.
Yeah.
And not only that, what's my job?
Yeah.
My job is to go out and have a great time. I feel bad for Sabo. He's also incredible. He's my other boss at the Peppermint Hippo. Sabo was kind of my minder that night. And so I'm like sort of like getting out of control, and poor Sabo was like reeling me back in. It was pretty fun.
Peppermint
That's
Hippo?
so fun.
The Peppermint Hippo.
Where's it at?
It is right up the block from the Strat. You know where the road divides? It's the old Olympic Gardens.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, by the Howard Johnson where
yeah.
I got married.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
They have the wedding chapels over there.
Yeah.
That's
They used to have
so
a really
funny.
good Cuban restaurant in that Holiday. I don't. Maybe they still do. It was a really good Cuban restaurant in the Holiday Inn there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just not much of an eater, but yeah.
Oh,
Right, Cheerios and
Cheerios
coffee.
and coffee.
right.
And Poppy steak
Oh my God. I gained 3 pounds.
from the one night.
Oh my God. The alcohol, the energy. Like imagine going to like an incredible disco and then the employees there. Oh my God, they're unbelievable. You know, they only hire like the best people to work
Yeah.
there.
I've
so
seen
the
a lot of
employees are
videos.
unbelievable. Have you been there?
No, I haven't been there, but I've seen a bunch of
Oh.
videos.
Poppy has to have you guys. I mean, you guys have a huge following. You got to do like a YouTube from there
That'd
or
be
something.
fun. Yeah. What is it exactly?
It's a
Like Salt Bay
disco
guy.
with incredible food.
A disco.
Yeah.
It's
you
like
say
a
disco?
nightclub.
It's a nightclub disco with food. It's unbelievable. You guys got to put it on your bucket
And
list.
it's like they open up a thing.
Oh my God. And then he gave me, supposedly it's like a $10,000 package. He gave me like the incredible jeweled box.
Oh, look, there it is.
There's the peppermint.
Oh, that's
Hippo.
pretty.
Yeah, yeah. So I
Oh, looks
stand outside there and I do my shtick.
That looks like a classy
and then I go
joint.
inside. Yeah, it's very classy.
Oh,
Very
that's
classy.
cool. And yeah. And how are the girls? Are they?
Well, it's the same thing as when I was young. These are girls that wouldn't spit on me in the real world. You know what I mean? I don't care.
As far as strip clubs go in this town, where does it rank up there?
Well, I don't know because I never really partook
you know?
of that.
Well,
you know?
you're gonna say it's number one because they're paying you.
Yeah, it's
Right,
the best in town.
I think that the high end places of which this is one.
Yeah, I
it's
think
all,
so,
they're all
too.
pretty similar.
You know, I've never
I
been
think
to a
it's
strip
up there
club
with
in
the
Las Vegas.
experiment right now.
It's a lot of money, you know.
Yeah. Oh, I've
Yeah.
never been into.
But
that
you can
kind
get
of
in
thing.
free if you come with me.
Yeah. All right. We're in.
Get all my followers in free.
The closest
and then
I've been-
oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say the closest I've ever been to a strip club is what's the one with the Mexican restaurant next door?
Sapphire.
Sapphire. There's a
Okay, yeah,
El
yeah, I know.
Dorado,
I know
that
where that
Mexican
is, yeah.
restaurant. Yeah.
So the great thing about working there is, and I love this, so people will DM me and they'll say, Vegas Pauly C, I'm having a bachelor party, 8 guys, 10 guys. I screen shoot it. I get their phone number. I send it over to Ritter. Ritter lets them all in free. He gives them a complimentary bottle. He makes them feel special. Like
Wow.
that is a well-run strip club.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So now I look good. They look good. The people who watch the show are happy.
Yeah.
So like I've given away like already like 50 comp tables with a bottle, you know, to like 8, 10, 12 guys, and everybody's happy.
Yeah, you're like
Yeah.
a great dot connector.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really, really good.
It's a good thing to be in Vegas. I mean, that's one of the best things of being in Vegas.
Yeah, and it's nice too that you like actually answer and read your DMs, and like other people were like, you're like, I'm just gonna shoot my shot in DM, and it's like I know there's
No,
no chance in hell.
every once in a while, like 1 out of every 10, I just don't know what to say.
Yeah.
But I answer, like, I'm compulsive about social media. It's interesting. I don't have the money to gamble right now, but I've completely replaced gambling with social media, the DMs.
It's a new addiction.
It's a totally new addiction. And I do it the same way.
Yeah.
Like, I do it like an addict.
It's true.
When I had to do the link video, I'm sitting in the parking lot on the ground doing the video.
Yeah.
I don't care how I got to do it.
When
Yeah.
when I remember when we got on TikTok and I like when videos would go viral, like it is a dopamine. You're like, and then when the comments start going in, and then for us, because we're content creators and we like you reply to comments like
Yeah.
and it helps engagement,
Yeah.
it helps the video and all that stuff. And but there was a time, I mean, now it's become more of a job and you start to hire people to do that stuff for you, but like
Yeah.
you kind of look forward to that morning, like waking up, having coffee, replying to comments, you know, because it's also a lot of the stuff that we do is comedy, like we do fun stuff, and it's same, it's like it's entertainment. And I grew up in the circus and I was in theater and stuff when we're entertainers, so it's
Yeah.
you're reaching a
So
bigger
you know it,
audience,
you know
making
it.
people laugh,
Yeah.
getting that comment that says thank you, you helped brighten my day. That's payment, right?
Oh, well, I actually had to look it up. So you got to remember, I'm 57 and a half, whatever. I've never dealt with any of this. So it's called narcissistic adoration. So what happens is, and I call it Seymour. So when I call, you know the plant in Little Shop of Horrors?
Yeah.
Seymour, feed me, Seymour. So what started happening was I was on the live. I'm really a live performer, and I started out like that. Now I do the videos because it's easy. It's much easier. But I would do the live performance, and these crazy compliments would come in. And I was uncomfortable. I was like, oh, I'm not used to this. Like, I'm used to being shit on. I mean, please, can you shit on me a little bit? And I started saying, feed me, Seymour. So now that's like the joke. Like if you go into my chat, and if you start to see the crazy compliments, if you go into like my videos, I always write, when it's something crazy, like you are the greatest content creator and I always write, feed me, Seymour. Because it's, what are you going to do with it? It's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
How are you going to process it?
Yeah, sometimes it can be.
Right.
Are you on Facebook at all?
No. And somebody told me, that I've had so many people reach out to me and scam me in Vegas, unfortunately. Like between 20 and 30 people have really hurt my soul. And someone really grabbed me and said they were going to do so much for me on Facebook that I was going to make money every month.
Do you
They
want
just
to
wasted
know
my time.
something, a secret?
Yes.
Facebook is where most of the money is for content creators.
Yeah, but someone has to do it for me.
Isn't
and
that crazy though? Like everyone thinks Facebook is just old people, but advertising money on Facebook.
I know
is
somebody
giant.
told me I could be making
You could
$20,000
be.
a month.
You could be. And actually, you know what I was just thinking earlier. I was like, you know what you should do, because you're so good and you're such a entertainer and you're easy to listen to.
Feed me, Seymour.
You also have a lot of knowledge. I was like, you should do like Las Vegas story, like Bugsy Siegel stories and stuff about stuff that happened in Vegas. If you were to do that on Facebook, you'd make a lot of money, I bet.
Yeah, but you have to understand how disabled I am. Like someone would have to totally manage me. So I get these people coming into my life and they tell me that they're going to manage me and they're going to do this and they're going to do that. There was one kid from the Midwest, no names, who's a CEO of a company. He's like a successful real estate guy. He actually came to my house in New York and told me he was going to do this with me, that with me, the other thing with me. We're texting. He just doesn't answer me. 4 months later, he gets back to me. I mean, this is a constant thing where people come in, and I understand why. Because I give them an illogical dopamine rush, thinking that they're going to do something with me. And the first thing out of my mouth always, just so you know, is, oh, you're going to put me on Facebook? I'll give you 20% of whatever I make. I'm not a cheap person. Like if someone in the world gets me to Facebook and gets me a $20,000 a month check just by managing my shit, I'm going to give them $4,000 a month. I put that right out there. So I've had at least 5 people this year telling me that they're going to take me to Facebook and I'm going to give them the 20%. And the tiring part of it is I give them days of my life before anything happens, like days of conversation. Mm-hmm. I've given people weeks of my life, of the back and forth. And then they just...
Yeah.
Someone was going to do merch for me. He effervesced. A big guy. Like he's in Manhattan and he's a merchandise company. And I met him at the Fontainebleau and he was going to do merch for me. The only thing I really want right now is the button that you hit, and I want the button to go, Vegas Pauly C.
Oh my God,
I
that's
think I could sell a
amazing.
lot of those buttons if somebody would just take care of that for me.
That's funny, yeah.
So the merch guy has me in Manhattan. I go, they take me to lunch, they make me feel special, and then they effervesce. The number of people that come in my life and effervesce, Like, I'm really so grateful right now that I have Steven and Jonathan, because these are solid, solid guys,
Yeah.
you know, at the highest level of what they're doing. So maybe this, I always tell my girlfriend and everybody, I'm like, I'm failing up.
Yes.
In the beginning of my career, the craziest miscreants were taking my money and abusing me. And then it was like another level of miscreants, like wasting my time. Because I used to pay people. Like people would come in my life, they'd say, like, if you give me $500, I'll set you up with a gig at a tribal property in California. I'll never forget. I gave this guy $500. My girlfriend wanted to kill me. She's like, don't you know you're being scammed? Don't you? And she, of course, she was right. So, like, I'm getting scammed. But the people that are scamming me are like higher and higher and higher. Now, I'm telling you, now I'm at the pinnacle. And the people who are at the pinnacle, they're not going to, you know,
Right.
these are people, these are, you know, you could Google these people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
They're paying you.
well, nobody's paying me,
Oh.
but we're working on things.
Is the restaurant making any money?
I
And
was
where
losing.
is it, by the way? 'Cause that's
It's in an absolute terrible location. One of my haters took a video. Somebody local went down. There was 31,000 YouTube followers. And it got sent to me this morning by several people. He went down there and he said, this is the absolute worst location. This food is not hot. I feel like the birria is more greasy than flavorful. And then he gave me like 7 or 8. So this is the way they do it. So he gave me like 3 or 4 digs, and he gave me 7 or 8 compliments. My hater page takes the 3 or 4 digs
Yeah.
and just
Runs with it.
really evil.
Yeah.
The reason they're evil is you have to understand, I came to the restaurant business from a total place of innocence.
Yeah.
Jose the taco guy, who I met on the street, who has no money, who I think has the same condition as me. I don't think he produces neurotransmitters either. We're driving around like little kids. He says to me, look, I got this guy. He's in his backyard. He makes the most amazing food. I go to the backyard. The food is amazing. I put up $40,000. I had about $300,000 left at the time. And I had been winning gambling, so I took $40,000 out of my bank account. I put him in a restaurant, January 3rd of this year. From day one, he was stealing everything.
Oh, no.
So the first thing, I didn't know this was going on, I know now, we used to bring the food to them. They were catering with the food that was supposed to be the restaurant, so then everything he was catering was cash in his pocket.
Wow.
Yeah.
So all of a
Yikes.
sudden, I say to Jose, what's going on with the money that we owe? He says, we owe the vegetable guy $40,000. I'm like, $40,000. I mean, we were doing unbelievable business. The third month, we did $203,000.
Wow, that's awesome.
And I'm already have it penciled into my mind, like, wow, I'm going to be making $10,000 a month from this place. So they were stealing all the food from day one. Then everybody in the family was making $78,000. Had to pay the wife $78,000 because she makes the sauces. But here's where it all ended. We went to go get the cash for the place, and we were supposed to get $16,000, and they gave us $9,000. And everything proved out like it was supposed to be $16,000. And the kid, his name's Leo. Oh, I'm sorry. I really effed up. I'm going to put the money back in the company in August. And I'm like, August? It's June.
Yeah, what?
You're going to put the money back in the company? Then we realized that everything else was wrong. And then so then I was done. So I'm the kind of person who can't psychologically get a lawyer because, look, I'm 60 years old. I don't have that many great days left. I mean, every day lately has been unbelievable, and I'm having great day after great day.
I love
But if
that
I
for
know
you.
I have to, excuse me, I think I spit on you. I apologize.
It's okay.
If I know that I have to go to a lawyer next Wednesday at 12 o'clock to prove that I'm the good guy, do you know how exhausting it is to
Yeah.
prove that you're the good guy?
Oh, I do.
So I just let them have the business.
Well,
And I still own half of it. Here's the worst part. They're not paying the sales tax. They're stealing all the cash, so it becomes an IRS issue. They're like doing everything over there. Awful. But they're still doing great business because the food is good. Now, my haters will take that comment I just made and they'll juxtapose it. They'll say, Vegas Pauly C says your food, you know, it's like, leave me alone.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? I'm going to sit here and lie to you and say that their food isn't good? Their food is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Wait, I was trying to get you business. Where you never said where you just said
I'm in a
bad
terrible
place.
location.
You
Okay,
can't-
this is the
where?
kind of empathetic person I am. I'm in such a terrible location that I don't even want you to drive down there. 17 miles south of the Mandalay Bay. It's a hole. It's
17 miles south.
I mean, I'm basically in Lake Mead, and I'm so dumb.
Oh, you said Boulder Highway.
Boulder Highway. I'm so dumb that when they got me the location, okay, I was gambling at the time, so location came along in like March or April. When I'm gambling, I'm a little out of it. And I wake up, more or less. I'm taking these old man naps in the car while Jose's driving me around. So I wake up. He takes me into a restaurant. It's very nice. All the tables and chairs are there. I'm used to really suffering. The location at 4440 East Washington which they stole from me, they pirated it from me, is really ugly, like really bad, like bottom of the barrel. To me, this location is like, oh, this is nice. The chairs are nice. It's comfortable. There's like 50 seats, whatever, full, beautiful kitchen. So I fall in love with it, and I go, well, if we can do unbelievable at 4440, well, this is ignorance talking. If we can do unbelievable at 4440 Washington, we can do great down here. And then the hypothesis in my mind is great food at a terrible location. But it gets even worse. So we open up and we're doing about 67,000. To give you an idea, we're doing 175 at the original location, and we're doing 67,000. So the way Wero was doing it with the he has tremendous number of employees. He overpays everybody. He was breaking even there at best. And then another taco shop opens up 150 feet away, which is like the death knell. But I'm going to tell you how unbelievable life is. So I'm losing $4,000 a week, and it's destroying me. I'm in for $100,200 right now. I've lost $100,200. When I was in business with Wero, I never took a penny out of it because I told them, let's leave the money in the company and we'll reopen another shop. 3 days ago, out of nowhere, a kid comes to me, contacts me, DMs me. He's from California. He's got a successful taco shop in California. He's a killer. He DMs me and he says, Vegas Pauly C, I'd really like to be involved with you. I said, really? He goes, yeah. He seems really serious. I say, well, if you're really serious, come to the shop, bring the money, and you're in. So we had agreed on like 45,000, but he DM'd me back and he's like, I only have 22. I said, I don't care what you got. Get your ass over here.
Yeah.
He shows up, and this is the way I do business. We have no agreement. I mean, what I did to be smart is I taped our 15-minute conversation where I told him who I was as a person because I want him to know that I come from an effing place of innocence. It's so exhausting trying to explain to people, we don't even have an agreement. Like, I think maybe he wants an agreement in the future, but here's what's amazing. He handed me $22,000. I put it in the company bank account. We're backed up. We owe rent. We owe the security camera. We owe food money. We owe money to Cisco delivery. Like, we're back. We owed all the taqueros. The taqueros are so cute. They all were waiting a week for that. We paid all the taqueros. So it's going to take about $7,000 just to catch up. And he's put the whole thing together, and he's very talented. And but in what world? Let me ask you this question: in what world do you get a DM on social media, and some guy shows up from the clouds, who's a taco expert, who's 29 years old, who's a workaholic, and he hands you $22,000 in cash money? Well, it was a check, but it's still going to clear it right away. It cleared this morning. In what world does this happen? And this is why I say, I'm so ridiculously blessed.
Yeah.
I know this guy already fixed the shop because he already cut the payroll down to $4,000. He's already over there producing. But I still wake up this morning and there's the hate post on my hate pages. And it's like, what I will never understand. I'm not making any money. These are jobs that local people have.
Yeah.
This is the Mexican community, an oppressed community of people. Why are you doing this? Not to me.
Right.
I understand why Mr. Irrelevant is after me. I understand why the Fontainebleau won't shake my hand. I understand why Resorts World threw me out. But I will never understand why strangers with no vested interest want to destroy something that comes from a place of innocence.
Yeah.
That I will never understand.
It's because they're miserable.
Okay.
That's all. That is it. They go online. If you have a chance at something, they want to tear it down. I'm sure that you've thought of this, but what about a taco truck?
Well, here's the beautiful thing about America. Guess who invested $100,000 in a taco truck sitting right outside of their establishment and just gave it to me?
What
Oh
the
my
hell?
gosh.
Wow.
The Peppermint Hippo.
Are you serious?
I swear to God.
That's incredible.
That's why I
That's
tell you
brilliant.
how blessed I am.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What a
That's
great
so
end
smart.
to that story.
Because people want to eat when they're drinking. And
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll be open in about a week or two.
Holy
That's
shit.
awesome.
Yeah, and it's all set up, and they have
I just almost ended that story by asking you that question. That was it was written
because
scripted.
everything ties together so
wild.
crazily out here.
That's so cool.
I know.
Holy shit.
I know.
You should take your taco truck. Is it going to be a mobile taco truck?
Well,
or is
I
it
think
gonna
that
stay?
I think that they may want me to drive it around a little bit for promo.
Yeah.
Which I'll happily do for them. You have to understand. I mean, they've done so much for me. They were the first person that gave me a job. They support me totally. They don't give me any shit about me putting food up my nose. You know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
not. There's no hate coming from the Peppermint Hippo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Ritter, the guy doesn't have a hateful bone in his body. He's
That's
the
awesome.
sweetest guy.
Were you going to say cerveza?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but they'll be able to drink and eat from the taco truck.
Yeah, my
At
friend.
cerveza? Do you know that? Go ahead.
Go ahead.
My friend from high school he started and owns Cerveza, which is down on like,
It's off of Main Street.
Wow, that's so cool.
You
Yeah.
been there? It's a great bar.
but they don't serve food. It's just like beer and ciders and
Okay.
all the really good micheladas.
Okay.
And there's every night or on the weekends, there's like a different food truck that's parked out
Wow.
there. So I'm like, oh, that'd be a good little combo.
They would love that. They love
Yeah.
promotion. You know, they know what they're doing. They know how to do social media.
Yeah.
So
And
yes,
Cerveza's
we'll see how it
good.
does. But I
Yeah.
told them, full disclosure, I said it's got to do $800 a day or I can't keep it open. So that's my cost between employees, food, whatever. It's $800 a day. So if we open it up and it doesn't do $800 a day, I can't afford to take any more losses.
Yeah.
You gotta be clever with marketing and stuff because you have a following and because you're good at what you do. Like all those little fun things work when they're like it's a secret where that taco truck is today,
Yeah.
but Pauly C is going to tell you where it is. Like
Yeah.
at this time, like all those things work. So if you can get a good, that's what marketing is these days. It's not posting stuff in the newspaper
Oh,
anymore.
I know.
It's this kind of stuff that we're doing, right?
I think they want it more or less stationary though because they want it to drive customers to and they
Oh,
want
yeah,
me to
sure.
feed their customers.
Yeah.
But during the day, they did say that, listen, whatever happens, it's going to be organic.
Yeah.
Like I don't have the energy there's strong people out there that have a tremendous amount of dopamine that can bend space-time. Look, nobody wanted to drive an electric car, but Elon Musk has that power, that strength. He's brilliant. He's got high dopamine. He bent the curve. He bent space-time. And now I'm not that guy. So I have to fall into it. But I'm falling into a lot of stuff, and I have a lot of gratitude.
And it seems like you deserve it. You seem like such a good.
Well, I don't know if I deserve anything.
Well, I feel like you're such a nice guy. Like, and you come off as very genuine and very, like, you don't seem like a dick. You don't seem like an asshole. You're not cocky. Like, I feel like you deserve it.
Well, Seymour absolutely loves that. Thank you so much. But I'll tell you where I am an asshole. When people violate math. So if you get a big guy in Vegas, no names, who stands there and says, Baccarat's the best game. It's so much better than blackjack. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to start that battle. Baccarat's 1.06 if you bet on the banker. It's 1.24 if you bet on the player. Blackjack played properly is 1/4 of that, of those odds against you if you play properly. So if you're going to come out and tell the community, and there's a lot of gambling influencers that do this kind of stuff, and it just grinds my gears. The one true religion, the one truth is math. If a lot of mathematicians will tell you that. So don't play with the math and don't mislead people with the math. The reason I put that 3-4, the reason I cajoled Jonathan, who went right away with it because he's super smart, unbelievable guy, is because it's a great game.
Yeah.
It's 0-0-3-8 for the house. It costs me, I can go there and put green and black through the machine. Green and black is $25 chips and $100 chips. I can go there and pound green and black, and my cost is $70 an hour. To play a game like that at a high level like that and be able to get my mother used to say, get your jollies. That's what she used to say. To get my jollies for $70 an hour, I think that, you go to dinner, you go to whatever, you're in Vegas, you're getting your jollies for $70 an hour. Yeah. If you go to a slot machine and you put $25 bets through it, it's going to cost you $1,000 an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't do poker at all?
I don't have the patience.
Yeah, see, I'm more poker.
Okay. And you have the patience and the intelligence. I don't
Well,
really
and
have
I also enjoy the camaraderie of the table,
Right.
of like it's not really about the house. It's about like the cowboy that comes to the table
Right.
when the rodeo's. Because I actually used to play at South Point all the time because we used to live over there. But I used to love like when the rodeo was in town, the cowboys were all
Well,
around.
Jonathan does a lot with the rodeo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he has it right outside there. He actually puts stalls in his parking lot. And this is so cool. So if you come to town with your horse gets a bed, and you get a bed at the plaza.
Oh, that's cool.
That's
That is
cool.
cool.
So he says to me, I say to him, I go, what's going on here? Because I don't know. He calls me down. He says, Pauly, I want you to put my stables. I'm like, what's going on here? He's like, if you have a horse, you put your horse here, and you stay in here, and it's like $60 for the horse. And I mean, who's doing
Wait,
stuff
who's
like this?
Jonathan?
He's the CEO of the plaza.
Oh, right.
And so the rodeo is a big thing with him.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Do you do sports betting at all?
I do sports betting. Interesting stuff. The other day, that crazy game with the Bears and Washington that ended on the Hail Mary pass.
Yeah.
So I had to address that.
Yeah.
So that was fun. And then, interestingly enough, like, the people that I'm kind of involved with now do sports. So
I enjoy sports. Lately I've been just using the Caesars app, and what I love about it, like I love parlaying because
everybody loves parlays.
I mean, it just makes football fun.
Yeah.
Like I enjoy. Like I'm a Miami Dolphin fan and I'm a Bears fan because I used to live in Chicago. But like I enjoy watching those teams. But I can watch any
Yeah.
game if you're parlaying,
Yeah.
right? It's like she'll even like laugh because I'll be standing in front of the TV, like excited at a Arizona.
What's the biggest parlay you ever hit?
Not that big. I think. What did I win? Like a little over $5,000 or something.
That's
like that.
big.
Off of
That's
a $100
pretty
bet.
big.
Yeah, that's big. What are you
Yeah.
talking about? That's
Yeah.
That's
big.
pretty big.
But it's more entertainment.
been a
more
great
than
day
anything.
for
Oh
you.
yeah, great. I think I brought her flowers home because she was
Yeah.
like, "Did you win?" That's like,
Wow, that's great.
But it's
like, oh,
fun
must have won.
though. It's so fun. Watching like putting bets on
Yeah, yeah,
players,
yeah,
who's
yeah.
going to score the first touchdown, all
know.
that stuff. Like it just changes
So
the game.
it-
And luckily for me, I'm not an addicted. Like I can put it away. I only allow myself like a few $100s to make crazy parlay bets. And I don't chase. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
luckily, otherwise, I do have friends that have lost some money, and hearing those stories about like that stresses me out. That gives me a lot of anxiety hearing people lose that kind of money. But the entertainment value, like you said, like the idea of spending $300 on a Sunday, like isn't that big of a deal, right? If you have a chance to potentially, and I'm way up as far, but it's entertainment money. It's not like I'm going to pay the rent money.
The interesting thing about parlays is because I go right into the websites. So there was 1 month I looked. They made 1/3 of 1% on straight betting, which is nothing. 1/3 of 1%, and they made 16% on parlays. So the books and the apps and everybody, they're making all of their money on parlays.
Wow, I bet. What's
DraftKings.
the best website that you go to for like info?
Well, I go to all the state agencies, and I actually read exactly what all the casinos are making and what all the sports books are making.
Wow.
There's one called Legal Sports Gambling, and they have every state on there, what the legal status is, how much money they won last month. And so I think they're up to they've won $350 billion so far since PAPSA was
$350 billion.
overturned, in 2018.
Jesus.
Well, New York is an interesting one. That is the most active, the heaviest one. They're winning $2 billion a year. They're winning $40 million a week on average.
Wow.
And the state's taking 51% of it. So Cuomo, who was the governor at the time before he got thrown out for his, indiscretions, he said, we want 51%. And everybody was like, you're never going to get 51%. But of course they did. So they're getting 51% in New York.
Wow.
It's a
Dang.
really high tax rate. It's only 7% in Nevada.
Dang. Wow.
That's wild.
Yeah. Big difference.
Do you go to the games at all? Like, do you go to the Raider games or anything like that?
So I had a great relationship with the Win, and they took me to 2 Raider games early on. But that relationship didn't really work out because I don't have the emotional energy, and you would have to give me like a gigantic cup of coffee to even do this. I don't know how far along we are, but I got in a tussle with the dinosaur, and so the Win saw me and the dinosaur going at it, and so I don't know what they did with her, but they basically told me that you can't have a conflict like that with another creator, and they basically threw me
Wait,
out.
who's
Who's
the
the
dinosaur?
dinosaur? We didn't expose that.
The dinosaur, I can't. Well, if you don't know who the dinosaur is,
Wait, I need a
She's
couple
like
more
the number
clues.
one.
Is that Vegas Starfish?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was gonna ask. I meant to ask you that earlier. Like, what is your?
Well, she's very fascinating because
You got into it with her?
Yeah, bad.
There?
It's bad. No, not there. Just in life.
Oh.
But she's a huge gaslighter. So what she does is she attacks everything that I do in Las Vegas. So when I had to give my car back to Finley sold me a lemon, and I used my social media as a tool. They said to me, I bought a truck from Finley for $105,000, and I gave it to Jose the taco guy. You see my career out here? I gave it to him because he was working for Uber, not Uber. Yeah, for Uber. He's working for Uber. And I thought maybe we would have a transportation company. I'm so delusional. You have to have all kinds of insurances, regulations. You have to pass this. You have to show the. So I bought him a $105,000 truck. Full disclosure, I was on a huge winning streak at the time. I give it to Jose the taco guy. It has 2 major catastrophes. The transmission blows up into the engine and
Oh my
shuts down.
gosh.
It was a Chevy Tahoe. And then a month later, the whole electrical system burns out and it's dead on the side of the road. So I've had enough. Plus, the transportation business is not working out. So I contact Finley and I say, I want to give this back. This is ridiculous. Now I paid $105 for it. 5 months later, they offered me $68. And they told me to pound sand. So I say, you want to give me $68,000 for a car I just paid $105 for? It's a lemon. It failed twice.
Which Finley?
Finley Chevrolet.
Oh.
So I say, I'm going to tell you straight out, if you don't give me a fair amount of money for this vehicle, and I'm not asking for my $105 back. I'm not a total asshole. I said, if you don't give me a fair amount of money for this vehicle back, I'm going to put you on social media. I said, I'm telling you right now that my whole show, and this goes to El Güero. See El Güero stealing all my money? The whole thing's on social media. He don't give a damn. He's running around on his wife. He's acting like an animal. I don't know what the hell he's doing. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't even really understand what
His
the hell
name's
I'm doing.
El Güero?
El Güero.
That means the blonde guy.
And it means, something like that. Anything you do to me, and I told the kid that the kid showed up this kid showed up with $22,000. He knows that our whole journey is going to be on social media.
Yeah.
That's just who I am.
Yeah.
If I'm telling you that I'm a penniless, compulsive, gambling weirdo who never got the girl, right? Of course I'm going to be honest about everything in my life.
Right.
So how does Vegas Starfish play into this?
So we had a bad business deal where I did something wrong that I thought was minor, but she really threw me under the bus. So I'm going to tell you that in a second, but I just want to tell you what she does. So Finley Toyota, I used my social media tool as a bludgeon. You're damn right I did. I'm not going to lose, what is that, 67 from 105 is 35 and 3 is $38,000. I'm not going to lose $38,000 on your rotten Chevy Tahoe.
Yeah.
So I put the video up. I bought a vehicle from here 5 months ago. I lost $38,000. Blah, blah, blah. Phone rings. It's Finley Chevrolet. Can you please take the video down? I'm like, can you please be fair with me?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, we're prepared to be fair with you. I say, you offered me $68,000. What is the vehicle really worth?
Yeah.
And they tell me. They say, we're going to sell that video for $78,000. Oh,
Vehicle.
We're going to sell that vehicle for $78,000. I say, okay. So when you get it from me, you're going to sell it and you're going to make $10,000. I say, how much did you make from that video when you sold it to me? They say $10,000. We made $10,000. This is what they told me. I say, let's break even. You made 10 when you sold it to me. You made 10 when you're going to make 10 when you resell it. Give me 87 instead of 68. I lost 18,000 and you broke even. I actually got them out of the vehicle. They didn't lose a penny. They didn't make money on me. Do they deserve to make money on me?
I mean,
no.
they sold you a bad car.
Right. So I lost $18,000. We did drive it for 5 months. I lost $18,000 and I took the loss. And they broke even. That was fair to me, and they gave me my check for $87,000. You see the comments from her. He's a bad guy. He's an evil guy. He's a bad person. I challenge you, the gentleman behind there, anybody who's watched my show for the last 2 years. I don't think you've seen a person who comes from more of a place of innocence than me. I took El Güero out of his backyard. He stole a $2 million restaurant from me. Do I have a lawyer? Have I sent the mafia over there to do anything to him?
Well, you do know Joe Pesci now.
Right, I don't know Joe Pesci. Like what's going on with that? I took the loss. Like I took it in the, I mean, I want the place back.
Yeah.
I think they're going to close him down because he doesn't pay any taxes. So I think he's going to get closed down. And I think at the end of the day, I'm going to end up with it.
So she
But
just
the
didn't
point
like,
is,
she didn't like that
no
you
ma-
were using your platform to protect yourself.
No. This is what happened. I barely have the energy to tell this story, but I have to tell you the truth. So I go. She gets a deal to go to the Mohi. She's doing business for me. She's working for me for $4,000. Is there energy in this liquid death?
I don't think so.
Is there
Just
caffeine?
water.
In
It's
here?
just water.
Nothing with caffeine?
You want a Red Bull?
Do you have one?
We might.
We might.
So anyway, so she says to me, look, I got to offer. She's working for me. I'm paying her $4,000 a month to grow my platforms because I have the comp wallet. She's good at her job. She really was. I offered her 2, and she said, no, I want 4. She's rapacious. I just learned that word the other day. She's a rapacious reptile. Rapacious is some, but in all fairness, she told me when I met her that she's rapacious. She told me she's all about the dollar and that she's here to make as much money. I mean, she gave me the speech. I went into it, that big boy with my eyes open. Her friend ran away with I hired her for $2,000 to do my Instagram, and I hired her friend to do my TikTok for $2,000 a month. Day 1, she was awesome. She did my Instagram. She did the videos. She's very professional, and she's got a great voice. Her friend ran off with the $2,000. A month goes by, and she says, what's going on with the TikTok? I say, well, and this is who I am because I'm such a little baby. I'm such a weak person. I'm like, oh, your friend ran off with the $2,000. Why didn't you tell me that he ran off with the $2,000 and didn't do anything? So, thank you so much.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you, Greg.
Greg's the best.
And she said, all right. She said, I'm going to get your he took the login too. I'm going to get your login back. She got the login back. So now she went and took over the TikTok. She said, well, you're going to have to give me $4,000 if I'm doing both. I went, oh, God. The thing that I thought was obnoxious was I would have worked for a month on the TikTok for me free to make up the $2,000 that my friend stole. But whatever. So now I'm paying her $4,000 a month. And she's doing a good job. But working with her is a nightmare because she is extremely intense. She's extremely intelligent. It's post George Floyd. So she has the whole white man is evil thing going on, and she's hitting me with that. And I want to say to her, girlfriend, I'm white, you're white, your children are white. Don't give me the whole white man is evil thing. I just don't want to hear it. So I'm dealing with that. One day, I told her I call my girlfriend Pocahontas. I got back 19 paragraphs on how that's a slur, how Pocahontas was taken to England and was abused, how I'm an inappropriate man, how I'm racist by using the term Pocahontas. I thought it was cute that I was calling my girlfriend Pocahontas.
Yeah, I was just trying to be cute.
So this is the kind of stuff I was dealing with. So I was dealing with the whole insanity that comes from certain people in the world about that. But I'm dealing with it. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not. It's like that guy that came into the shop with the MAGA hat. I don't even notice these things. You know what I mean? So we're going along and I'm dealing with the intensity. Every single thing I say to her, she demeans me. I say to her, I think I could do social media. She's like, no, you can't. You don't know anything about anything. And I'm like, okay. I referenced Brian Christopher, who does the slots. And I said, I don't really find him to be that compelling. And he's making all this money. I'm like, why can't we? He is a classically trained actor. He went to school for 10 years. He knows how to do A, B, C, D, and E. And I'm thinking to myself, I'll just go and be me. And it'll probably be funny because I'm so dysfunctional that I know I'm going to entertain people just with my nonsense because I'm gone,
And just yourself.
So she's constantly demeaning me. I started to answer some of the people who would DM the account. Don't you dare answer anybody. I'm managing this a certain way, and you're confusing the client. And I'm just like, so I want to get into social media because I know I can get high on it, but I'm just taking her abuse. So the abuse goes on for about 8 or 9 months. I go up to the Mohegans, and this is where I'm wrong. And I tell everybody, every podcast, every social media person, this is where I'm wrong.
So the relationship started as colleagues?
She was working for me.
Right.
I didn't feel like a colleague. I felt like I was working for her.
Interesting.
Because she's a bull in a china shop. So I'm dealing with all the abuse. So this is where I'm wrong. Okay? America, I'm wrong. Listen to this. The Mohegan Sun, she says, I got to offer $10,000 to come up to the Mohegan Sun. Can you go up there and put the deal together with me? Now, I already have a relationship with the Mohegan Sun, with the player part, not the social media. I go up there, I meet with the social media people. They really want her up there because she has, at this point, she has about 300,000 followers. She's huge in the casino space. They're dying to get her up there. Actually, I pulled that number out of my tuchus. I said, you got to give her $10,000, which she later twisted and said I tried to steal $10,000. Do you see me? I walked away from I walked away from a $2 million taco shop. I ain't trying to steal anybody's money.
Yeah.
I'm eating Cheerios and drink. I have no fur. You should see, I live like an animal. By the way, I'm proud that I live like an animal, but I live like an animal. So I'm not trying to steal money from anybody.
Yeah.
She warped that too. So here's where I'm wrong. When I met with the social media people from the Mohegan Sun, my app had 1 star on Google. It's a schlocky app. It's weak. I was embarrassed, so I did not tell them about the app. Mm-hmm. All I did was take the contest. This is what I said to them, because she was working for me doing contests. She was working for me giving away Adele tickets. She was working for me giving away meals. She was working for me giving away things because I was trying to grow the comp wallet, so I was paying her $4,000 a month. And I was investing another $7,000 a month giving away stuff. Hey, you know what? This stuff works. So I did not tell them. The app was taking contestants, right, for the giveaway, which was a pit bull. It was 2 tickets to pit bull and a night at the Mohegan Sun. The app was giving that away. But if you think about it, how am I going to do a contest? How would you do a giveaway if you were doing a giveaway? You almost need an app to do the giveaway if you really think about it. Like, where was I going to put it? Not only that, where did she think I was going to put it? Of course I put it on the app. But here's where I am wrong, America. I didn't tell the Mohegan Sun about the app. Out of embarrassment and also, full disclosure, I'm faking it till I make it. Like, my app kind of sucks. If I tell them about the app, they're probably not going to go for it. So I'm faking it until I make it. Was it pushy? Was it aggressive? Was it New York business? Absolutely. I'm pushy. I'm aggressive. I'm from New York. Was it unethical? Yeah. Am I wrong? Yeah. But all right. Okay. All right. When she found out about the fact that I didn't tell them, which she found out on June 13th. Oh, we were going to have a meet and greet there. We were going to have a party. I had 500 people coming, whatever. When she found out about it, her first reaction was, I don't even believe in contests. I don't know what he's talking about. Oh, my God, he's the devil. This is what she's telling the Mohegan Sun. So the Mohegan Sun comes back at me and says, and shows me the email from her. She doesn't even believe in contests. I'll never forget that. She said, that's going to bring in the average Joes from Minnesota. This is the elitist that she is. I saw the quote, the average Joes from Minnesota. I'm like, girlfriend, that's 99% of America. I want to be with the average Joes. I want to put food up my nose for the average Joes. If I can make the average Joes laugh and we all can be crazy together, that's the greatest thing ever. I mean, I don't know whether you guys know this, but usually super rich people are not really any fun because they have so much to protect. They can't really go out and get drunk. They can't really get out and roll around in the gutter. The other day on the way back from Dustin Dre's nightclub, I was freezing and I found a jacket. You're going to see this in the video. I found a jacket in the gutter. It was nice. It was like a fur jacket. It was a small. It was a woman's small, but I can fit in a woman's small because I'm very tiny. You know, when you get ripped, you get small. I wore it. You know what I mean? That's who I am. I'm a person who's going to make the most of whatever the situation is. If I'm cold and there's a jacket in the gutter and it's relatively clean, although I think someone did piss on it, but whatever, and I got to wear that jacket, I put the jacket on. That's who I am. But she starts the condescension shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even believe it. I'm like, girlfriend, I just paid you for 8 months to work for a contest site, and you're going to tell the Mohegan Sun that you don't believe in contests? This is the shit that's really cut in my claw. So from that minute on, she was my arch nemesis. You know, I ended the relationship with her. We went back and forth. I said some crazy shit. She has every text that I said. This is some of the shit that I said. I said, I don't really find the Kardashians to be entertaining. Like, to me, that's boring shit. I'm like, they're great looking people. I'm like, but you're going to tell me that I can't go out in the world and be funnier than them? I don't really find it interesting. I don't really find Brian Christopher interesting. Like, I basically attack like all the boring social media people because I know what I'm capable of doing. I know I'm capable of giving my heart, my soul, my energy, every bit of degradation to the world if it makes them laugh. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm admitting to you now? You know, all the stuff that I'm telling you. I'm broke. I'm living like an animal. She's about the show. I think I spit on you again.
No, you're good.
She's about the game. She's about the front. She's about the elitism. She's about telling me that I'm a bad white man. She's about all this shit. And I'm about just, you know, being a regular guy with problems. Because I got a lot of problems. Like the taco shop got stolen from me. I went broke gambling. My app didn't work out. Me and Jose the taco guy, neither one of us gets paid. This guy, Jose the taco guy, all you haters out there, he's worked his ass off for the last year and a couple of months on these businesses with me. At one point, he was making $600 a week. Big yawn. Most of the time, he makes nothing. His wife cleans rooms at the Mandalay Bay and supports the entire family. And they have 4 kids. Forget about me. I'm the filthy animal. They have 4 kids that are being fed at that taco shop, and you're trying to destroy this thing.
Yeah.
This is why I will never understand you haters. Anybody who's watched my career, I will never understand what the haters are doing. I will never understand what the hell the dinosaur is doing. So she's on there, oh, everyone who goes there is going to get bubble guts. That's one of her favorite phrases, bubble guts. Oh, that place is awful. Oh, he doesn't know what he's doing. Oh, he thinks that because he has a following that people are going to go to his restaurant. Every single person that goes to that restaurant knows who I am. They're there to support me.
Yeah.
She can't understand love because nobody loves her. You know, she can't understand the kind of stuff that's going on, the organic stuff that's going on. I saw a post from her. She said, he thinks that playing pop crafts for thousands of dollars and begging for customers for his restaurant and shoving food up his nose and criticizing Caesars is all going to somehow come together and work for him on the internet. And then she said something like, for some reason it is, but that's because his following is all red-pilled. And I don't even know what the hell red pill means. All red-pilled males. Like, she's always anti-man. She's always attacking men. Like, I read her stuff. This is what she writes about the Circa. I saw this video, and I'm like, wow, nobody finds that inappropriate? The Circa looks like it was designed by a man for men. Like, you can feel her like, what the? I was surprised that video stayed up. I thought she was going to take that one down. Then for a while, she was going along with around with the black light and the bed bug inspections.
Yikes.
Right? She's checking for bed bugs. So I'm like, girlfriend, because she has an unbelievable relationship with the Fontainebleau. Of course she does, because the two of them are commiserating about the horror that is me. I'm like, girlfriend, if you ever go to the Fontainebleau with your black light and your whatever, and you find bed bugs, are you going to really tell the world? So this is the way I handle bed bugs. And by the way, the Wynn invited me to meet the bed bug dog. I met the bed bug dog over at the Wynn. They had to like sneak me in there or some shit. I don't even know, because the Wynn doesn't like me. The Wynn won't talk to me now because of my conflict with the dinosaur. She's a completely different human being than me, and so we do not see eye to eye at all. So my policy on the bed bugs with the hotels and the bed bug stories and whatever is, I avoid it because it's bad luck. And I see immediately, because I'm quick, I see my brother, my partner, someone I love, Jose the taco guy. I can see his wife already getting screamed at because she's a maid at the Mandalay Bay. I already can see her going into a room that maybe she cleaned the day before, and maybe she missed a bed bug that someone brought in accidentally. And I can see her boss like this on her ass about the bed bugs, and I can see everybody getting abused. So I don't go into a hotel room with a light and a bed bug inspect and whatever. So I did a podcast in April where I said exactly verbatim what I just told you guys. Mm-hmm. It was with a kid called the On the Run podcast. He's so cute. He's just coming up. He's 25 years old. He's just starting out. I did his podcast again the other day. He's entrepreneurial. He's trying to make it in the world. I love him. So I did this podcast in March or April. He came to the taco shop. He set up all of this stuff. And I said, someday you're going to see her put that shit away because she's going to realize that that is completely not productive. The other day, wouldn't you know it, she did something about the bed bugs where, it's an accident that happens. It's really not that big a deal. It can happen here. It can happen there. And this is my theory. And this is out of my ass. I believe that people with no soul look to others to steal their soul.
Well, yeah.
So I believe the fact that I said that bed bugs are an accident and they can happen anywhere and we shouldn't really go after the employees who are working for $20 an hour. You need to lighten up with the goddamn bed bugs, girlfriend. And now all of a sudden she's lightened up. It's like, oh, come on. Please. And I just can't stand the woman. She's such a phony. Oh, here's another one. We're at Giada's having dinner. This is when she works for me. March or April 2022. I just started out on TikTok. She was still working for me. She worked for me all the way through June. She gets the job working for finger-licking food tours. This is when she's totally rapacious and admits it. She's sitting there with another guy. She's sitting there telling me, I just got a job working for finger-licking food tours. She tells me this in person, okay? Now, she doesn't have a tape of this conversation, and neither do I, so she ain't suing me, and I'm not suing her. But she tells me personally. For 2 years. For 2 years. And it's a lot of work to produce videos. You can go to finger-licking food. They'll probably take the site down. Believe me, after this podcast gets out there, all of a sudden the finger-licking food tours videos will disappear. Trust me. Because I've watched her shit where I call her out. I've watched it go, and I go, wow, I wish I took a screenshot of that. She actually did a video once where she said it was no big deal. I called her the dinosaur. A month later, I get a cease and desist letter for calling her the dinosaur.
Oh, no.
And I didn't screenshot the no big deal thing. She actually ended a post and she put a little baby dinosaur. I think she thought it was cute in the beginning, but then it became oppressive, and then she sends me the legal letter. This is the way her brain is working.
Where did that come from, the dinosaur?
Because I feel that I'm the asteroid coming into Vegas, a new way of doing everything, being totally honest, being like, like, rah, like that. And she's looking up at the sky like, oh, wow, I've been here for 220 million years. I dominate the land. I'm the biggest predator. And so that's where it came from. People think it's a physical thing. It's not. That's why I asked. It's all paleontology. So it's funny. One of my videos, I said something about a paleontologist, and everybody was laughing. But anyway. So I was with her when she got that job. For 2 years, she's been telling the Las Vegas community that Donald, sue me if you want. I don't give a damn. I'd like to see your financials and her financials. For 2 years, she's been telling the Las Vegas community that she's been doing it because Donald is a nice guy, and I really like him. And this is what she says. He gave me access to all sorts of restaurants and places that I would have never gotten into. I was a small creator then, but me, do the math. Me, I have to pay her $4,000 this exact same time. Because I'm a schmuck, have to pay $4,000 a month for her to do this work for me. Not even in her own voice, by the way. She was using the mechanical voice. But Donald from Finger Licking Food Tours, because he's such a mensch, because he's such a great guy, because he got her into restaurants. Yeah, okay. Anybody wants her in restaurants. She's a promoter. Every restaurant wants her. That doesn't make sense right there. Because he's so great, she was doing it for him for nothing. She did 2 years of video production for him all the way up through April of this year, where every single day, almost every day, there was a finger-licking food tours video. She got him up to 100,000 followers on TikTok. I don't even know how many on Instagram. Now she wants to tell the world. The rabbit, the magician's study. Someone sends me proof that the rabbit magician, you know who the rabbit magician is? Somebody sends me proof. Somebody took the time, not me. I don't have the time. I don't have the energy. I don't have the dopamine to figure out that she's getting paid by the magician's study, that she's getting paid by the rabbit, that it doesn't make sense, that it's $140, that he's a terrible musician, that nothing makes sense. And then you have her just pushing the magician. I'm sorry, I think I spit on you. Her pushing the magician's study, pushing the rabbit. So I take the video. Someone else did all the work, and I put the video up on my page. 12 hours later, the magician's study contacts me. We are going to hit you with a cease and desist if you don't pull that video down, accusing us of paying. I have a copy of this. She's just our friend. She enables us to get to other creators who then promote. I mean, just the biggest bunch of bullshit. Like, I'm getting paid $1,000 a month from the Peppermint Hippo. I got $5,000 from Kalshi.com 2 weeks ago. I had $1,700 in the bank, and I'm running out of money. And Kalshi.com, who's doing the prediction website between Harris and Trump, the thing, they contact me, and they're like, we want you to do a video for us. I've never done a pay video in my life. So I say to them, well, how much am I worth? I almost fell over. They're like, you're worth $5,000. I had the video to them in an hour.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, I'm worth $5,000? I mean, Seymour was like, you're worth $5,000. Shut up, Seymour. I got to go do the video. Not only did I get $5,000, they had me do another one. I have to wait 4 more days to get that money. So I got $10,000 from Kalshi.com. Like when I do something, Poppy picked up the whole meal at the Pepper. When I do something, I'm like, there's a $250 food credit waiting for me right now that I don't even want at the Tuscany because I did a walkthrough from there, and they're like, wow, thank you so much. I love the Tuscany. It's a great economic stay. I am bleeding out every ounce of my existence out here. How much do I make from social media? $4,800 a month plus $1,000 from the Peppermint Hippo. I just can't stand the nonsense. Like, let's all just be honest.
Yeah.
You're making a goddamn fortune, dinosaur. Be grateful for it.
Yeah.
Don't tell us that you were. All the narcissists, my friend, because they're not really friends. They're tools. When a narcissist has children, they're not really children. They use them as tools. That's the first thing that you know. So, of course, I go crazy. Of course, I go nuts. Now, after this podcast, I'm going to get a cease and desist. Oh, she tells the whole world that she got an order of protection against me. So she attacks me.
That's like nearly impossible to do.
She attacks me, right? It's called gaslighting. I just found this out because I had to ask my following. I'm like, is this gaslighting? She attacks me. I respond. She says that I'm a stalker, a misogynist, a creepy old man. But you just attacked me. Like, I'm not supposed to respond?
Yeah.
So she takes all my responses and then says them all these things. So I finally put it together. I said, and I was on a live, and I asked everybody, I said, is what she's doing to me, is that gaslighting? Because she's making me feel crazy. And they're like, yeah, Vegas Pauly C, that's what gaslighting is. And I'm like, oh. No wonder it makes everybody nuts.
Yeah.
Because she's doing the attack and I can't respond. She's taking away my voice.
Yeah.
What would it take to squash this? What would it take for you guys to be okay? Like, what is it? Is it something that you
3 bullets in the back of my head?
Oh, God.
It will never be squashed.
Really? There's always got to be a way, right?
You could give me $1 million right now and I'm not squashing it. Write the check.
There's
No.
In social media,
Nope.
and
Write the check.
In social media in a town like Vegas, is it more beneficial or is it more hurting for you guys to not for you, because it is good press?
It's beneficial to her because she says I'm a creepy old man and nobody should work with me, and I'm sure I've lost deals. I'm sure that I'm not successful.
Well, I
Because
mean, look at the win.
right, look at the win. Okay, fine.
That's what I mean, though. Like,
I don't give 2 goddams what I lose. I will live in the gutter. I will go live in a trailer. If I enjoy, and I do enjoy doing social media, I enjoy this. So I will live in a trailer in Pahrump, and I will drive 50 minutes to town, and I will do my little financial videos, and I'll stand outside of the casino.
You call it Pahrump?
Pahrump. Pahrump? Pahrump? Say it correctly.
Yeah, Pahrump.
Pahrump. Pahrump.
It was just a very fancy.
You
word for
gotta
Yeah, it did sound so fancy.
You got to understand something. I love money like everybody else, but I'm willing to live without it if I can stay real.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I can't do this without being real.
Absolutely,
So
I
I
agree.
love this more than money.
I agree with being real. Don't get me wrong. Like, what is her beef? Like, what would she say? Like, why she's mad at you?
She would say that I'm a horrible human being.
But why, though? Why
that
would she
I'm
say
a
that?
fraud. Well, she says that I tried to steal the $10,000 from Mohegan Sun, which is the most ridiculous misrepresentation. My girl that worked for me at the time, her name was Ronnie. First of all, I had like I was worth about $2 million when I was doing this Mohegan Sun thing. I mean, I've lost half of it since then, but I made a lot. And when I have $2 million, I think I'm like the greatest thing in the world, whatever. It's all gone now, but at the time, I mean, my girlfriend can tell you, I was like the big mock, I'm half Italian, and when you're Italian and you have a few dollars, Seymour's like all lit up. So she will tell you that nobody in town will work with me, that I'm a creepy old man, that I'm a misogynist. I mean, just non-truths. Like,
So sorry.
I swear, God bless you.
Thank you.
I swear to you, because of my mutation and because I'm so dysfunctional, I'm just bleeding out my truth. I'm looking at you and I'm telling you, these are my problems. I'm the guy who never got a girl, So it's funny that I'm working at the Peppermint Hippo. I'm the guy who's broke with 700,000 followers because I have no idea how to monetize it, honestly. I did get $10,000 from Kalshi.com. It's saving my ass. You have no idea. First money I've gotten, first significant money I've gotten. I make $4,000 a month from TikTok, though. There's no way to do what I'm doing without failing. So I'm failing. I'm failing doing this. I still love it. And now I'm dealing with people that they're not going to let me fail. I know exactly where I'm going. Like, I can already see.
It's also good. It's actually keeps you on your toes. Everybody knows it's always good to have, arch nemesis.
She's just a horrible person. She just does not give.
But you know what I mean, right? Like this, it feels like you're very passionate about this fight now, which might be good for you, and it might be good for her.
Well, I'll tell you this. So she always says, this is one of my favorite things. He's clout chasing me because I have 4 million followers and he only has 700,000.
She has 4 million followers?
Across all platforms.
Oh, okay.
So you know what's funny? The fights that I had with her where I would answer her back on Instagram, and I have this picture in my phone, although it would take me 15 minutes to find it. I lose followers like crazy when I fight with her on Instagram. So I post her saying that I'm the most disgusting, horrible, creepy old man, thief, liar. I'm banned everywhere. Nobody in town will deal with me. I'll take that post and I'll put it up on Instagram and then maybe some proof that that's not true. And I lost 244 followers that day.
That's so crazy.
Like I gained 700, but I lost 944 because Instagram tells you what you gained and what you lost. Every time I engage her, I lose a tremendous number of followers. So I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
Let her exist out there. Like, I can't even imagine what else. Like, everything's been said about what a horrible human being I am. I don't think there's any material left. Like, what is she going to... Oh, this is my favorite one. So Wero robs the taco shop. They forced me out of there. I mean, and when you have 4 forms of stealing against you and he insists on his son steals the money and he gives his son a $10,000 a year raise. This is what goes on. And I go and I meet with him. This was the last straw. And I say, we just caught your son stealing $7,000. You can't give him a $10,000 raise. I said, Wero, we're going to run out of money. You know what he says to me? He goes, well, I guess then the investors are going to have to put in more money. I'm the investor. I'm not putting any more money into this. But here's what kills me about her. She does a post saying the following. Now, I took 25% of the taco shop when I opened it. I put in $40,000. I took the risk. I took 25%. Why did I take 25%? Can anybody in the room answer? Because I don't want to be the colonizer. Because I don't want to be the oppressor. Because I don't want to be the person coming to Las Vegas living off the hard work and perspiration of a poor Mexican family. I already know who I don't want to be. And I thought 25% will enable me to make a profit eventually, get some great social media, and help this family out. I gave them 50%. I should have never given them 50%. You know why? Because I gave them the ability to destroy themselves. By giving them that power, by letting them control the payroll, control the food, control the vendors, they're running around like lunatics. $60,000 car, $50,000 car. The wife got a $50,000 car. But here's what kills me. This is a direct quote from her. And I have a picture of this too in my phone. He tried to exploit those people. I'm intentionally taking 25%. I'm sorry, I spit on you again. They get crazy. This is what old men do. They spit on you. I intentionally took 25% and intentionally, in every cell in my body, did not exploit them.
Yeah.
And there she is. He was exploiting them. And you wonder why I go crazy?
Yeah.
Okay, I want you to Google, when you're done, education for everybody in here. Google political affiliation and brain chemistry. and you will understand everything.
That's very
None
interesting.
none of this is choices that we make. None of it. This whole thing going on in the country with the two people whose names don't need to be mentioned, all of that is brain chemistry. You can go and you can read it. The studies are done. It passes the PC police.
Wait, what is
It's
it?
all
What do I
there.
need to Google? I'm doing it right
Brain chemistry and political affiliation.
Do Vegas Starfish and Perez get along?
Yes, I think they do.
Oh, so then you got bigger problems.
I don't have any problems because I'll live in the gutter. Like, you know, I know that a lot of people are very much in love with the meals out at night, right? And like going out and having the $500 steak and SW Steakhouse is incredible and Poppy Steak is amazing. And I don't need any of that. I know that people love expensive watches. Look at me. I think the total of my clothes, this is actually expensive. These shirts got very expensive, but I'm holding on to them. My total clothes is maybe $150, you know, with the shirt, the jeans, whatever. I'm okay with nothing. I'm proving it. Come to my apartment. I don't have a single bit of furniture. I'm living like an animal. I'm proud to be scrappy, to be in the streets and really try and make something out of this. And I have so much gratitude, like mind-blowing gratitude and or shock, that one minute I'm on the streets screaming and yelling into my phone, and next minute I'm in the boardroom. And I'm in the boardroom. I mean, that's just where I am right now. You'll see. You're going to see. I don't know any other way to say it. And the fact that she has attacked, and I tried to steal $10,000 from her. I'm a creepy old man. I'm a misogynist. Her favorite one is the stalker. So she posts an attack on me. I attack her back, and I'm the stalker. That's how I found out it's called gaslighting, because it was making me crazy. I was like, is this gaslighting? Never. She will never be free. She needs to leave town. She needs to make like the dinosaurs made. And, you know, and if you go on the post, oh, here's another one. So Jeff Fargo, hi, Jeff Fargo. Jeff Fargo, who's a podcaster, has Unlocked on there. Unlocked is a big performer. He's a very big social media guy, super successful. He started Sorry Not Sorry Ice Cream. He's a quick talker. I don't know his name. Does anybody know his name? Okay. So he goes on to Jeff Fargo podcast. And Jeff Fargo says to him, who are the 5 influencers in Las Vegas that you would definitely hire? And he says, well, I would definitely hire Jen. This video's on Jeff Fargo's.
I watched this.
I would definitely hire Jen. I would give her anything she wants. I would give her meals. I would give her. He's a fast talker. He's a smart guy. You could tell he's a brilliant guy. He says, of course I would hire myself.
Yeah.
Of course you would. He's a fast. It's Unlocked, right? Is that who I'm talking about? I think it's him, right?
I think you're right.
Yeah. He's opened like 5 or 6 businesses in Vegas. He's killing it. He's killing it. I got nothing bad to say about him. He doesn't know me from a hole in the wall, which is fine. I don't give a damn. So, of course, my followers see this video, and my followers, because I have a rabid following. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, Seymour loves it. My followers go, and it's still there. My followers go on the Jeff Fargo video where Unlock says these are the 5 influencers. Vegas Pauly C is the only one I watch. I mean, see, people sent it to me and said, go read the comments. My partner, Jose, sent it to me. That's who sent it to me first. He said, go read the comments. I don't think Seymour's ever been so high in his entire life. I really don't think so. Like, I was shocked. I don't know. Jeff deleted like half of them and said it was bots.
Wow.
He deleted the comment. I'm going to tell you something because it leads into the whole Vegas Starfish, Mr. Irrelevant bullshit. He deleted the comment from my girlfriend.
Oh.
And then he writes in there, bots, right? It must be bots. It can't possibly be the whole entire country sees this video and says, what about Vegas Pauly C? And by the way, I'm not an influencer, and I'm certainly not a food influencer. So I understand why Unlocked said what he said. Yeah. But what he did is he triggered the 700,000 people that follow me, and they all plowed into Jeff Fargo's. But then whenever Vegas Starfish says something, Jeffy Fargo gives a little heart. Oh, I love you, Vegas Star. This is people who are acquiescing to numbers. They're acquiescing to power. They're saying, well, she has 4 million followers, and Vegas Pauly C is an asshole. He has 700,000. Big man. So there's a cartel of people who love themselves, like Jeff Fargo. You love yourself, don't you, Jeff? I actually emailed. I have a texting relationship with him. And I said, Jeff,
He just started following me like last night.
I said, Jeff, you got a lot of nerve. I said, you're deleting all these comments. He goes, oh, I thought it was bots. I could show you my phone right now. It's not bots. You deleted my girlfriend's comment on your page. And people were calling him out for deleting it. And then whenever Vegas Starfish says something, he's going to delete. By the way, you'll never see. You might as well. Well, I know you don't care. But he will take down this. He will take down this. I mean, I know your life is not like it's not personal to you, but he's going to take down this video. Trust me. This is what they do. When they get busted, they take down the video. So Jeffy Fargo, hi Jeff. Do you think I was going to circle back around, Jeff? Jeff Fargo, every time Vegas Starfish says something, and I had to go on someone else's phone because she has me blocked, he puts the little heart emoji. Ooh, I love you. Ooh, and every time somebody says something about me, he says, why? 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 Brain chemistry and political affiliation. I will guarantee you that I can do a brain scan of Jeff Fargo and a brain scan of the dinosaur, and it will come back the exact same size of the areas of the brain that I'm talking about. They naturally love one another. Same thing with Perez Hilton. He loves Vegas Starfish. All of these people can hate me. I give 0 Fs. I do not care. First of all, I'm not a food influencer. Second of all, my existence does not depend on me kissing any ass out here. Do you understand that? The people that are in my life are people I truly love and respect. I knew about Jonathan Jossel in 2011. Why? Because when Carl Icahn sold all the furniture from the Fontainebleau in 2011 when it was abandoned, Jonathan Jossel, who, by the way, I just found this out, it blows my mind, who was 26 years old at the time, right? Yeah, 26 years old. Already had enough, you hear that number, 26 years old?
Yeah, that's a baby.
He already had enough power, enough foresight, and enough brains to buy all of that furniture from the Fontainebleau and rebuild the plaza. 26 years old. He got his gaming license at 29.
Wow.
So, like, what friends do I want? Do I want somebody who's going into, like, some restaurant and saying, this is the best veal parmesan I ever had in my entire life? Or do I want a friend who got his gaming license at the youngest age that anyone ever got their gaming license in Las Vegas? Now, full disclosure, if I lose Jonathan, I'm probably leaving town. That's how much I love him. If I lose Steve, who I just met a couple of months ago, who was at the highest level of media, if I lose him, so we have great relationships. Those are honest relationships, not, this is the best steak in Las Vegas. Come on. It's dinosaur. It's boring. It's bullshit. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah,
I mean, did I explain it well? I think I damn well did.
I was so naive. I thought all these guys liked each other, hung out at the events. Like I see them sipping champagne together, but never knew.
Maybe everything we see is smoke and mirrors.
I guess so.
It's all bullshit.
Yeah.
It's all bullshit. And then they all acquiesce to her because she has all these followers.
Yeah.
Be real. Be real. I mean, when I'm getting legal documents from the magician study, like, wow, really?
Have you seen it?
No. I heard it sucks, though.
Yeah, so have I.
Have you seen it?
No.
You would know because you're a performer.
Yeah,
you're both performers.
A magician actually told me that it's supposed to be not good.
Right. And she was promoting it like it was the greatest show in Vegas. She said it 100 times. And one of my favorite posts on her, this is one of my favorite posts. I love this. And I don't have a screenshot of it, but it was made. I'm going to set you guys up with my 2 favorite things in Las Vegas. This is her talking. My 2 favorite things in Las Vegas, you could probably guess from this conversation. We're going to take you to finger-licking food tours, and then you're going to go see the magician study and the rabbit. Oh, come on, girlfriend. The bullshit is just so thick, and it triggers me because the casino's bullshit is so thick. The 6-5 blackjack, the 3 zeros on the roulette wheel. All of a sudden, they're hitting the A6 at blackjack. It's triggering.
When somebody, again, I'm ignorant to the, like you had said earlier that we're influenced. We're not really. We don't.
Yeah,
we're
no, I know.
even. I don't really even like Instagram that much. It's more for my friends, my family. Like I feel like that way more, right? Like I don't really post there to be a social media person. I'm more interested in YouTube and stuff like that. But when
Oh, you guys have a tremendous YouTube following.
Yeah.
This is the
Thank you.
biggest podcast I've ever done. You know what I mean?
Thank
I
you.
look, I put on my good shirt.
Your polo. But no,
Thank
my
you.
question though is, when somebody like Starfish does a thing about the magician,
I would rather you call her the
I
dinosaur.
am not. I can't partake in.
I knew you weren't going to. I was just messing with you.
But not that I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, but when someone does a video like that for the magician show, is it? I've see again. Maybe I'm ignorant, but am always under the impression they thoroughly like that show, or are they getting paid to say they like it? Is it paid advertising?
Okay, so the video that I got looked like this, and again, I could find it in my phone. The video that I got from someone out in space was, here are all her recommendations. She was relentlessly recommending the guy, like over the top. The same thing she does with the Pepper Club. Now, I don't have any facts on the Pepper Club, but she's always talking about how great it is, and then people are saying, no, it sucks. What are you talking about? So it's like one of those situations. But I don't know anything about the Pepper Club, although the woman did reach out to me and she squashed it, but whatever. But it looks unauthentic when you are saying that something is the greatest thing ever, and this is what the person sent me. And then all the comments are, why did you send me to this show? It was $140 and it stunk. This was not a good show. And you just said that your magician friend said that it stunk, right? You're confirming for me.
Well, that's my question.
So she's saying, no, I think there was, I think that I don't have any facts. I don't know anything, okay? Legal teams, Vegas Pauly C doesn't know. I'm assuming she was getting a kickback from the guy.
Okay, so that's
every ticket you sell.
Now,
whatever.
so I follow her, and I actually saved the reason I found that was her. She's said it's the best thing in blah blah Vegas, and I saved it, and that's when I brought it to my magician's attention. But the way she pitched it was really great. Now it feels really fair. This is what I kind of want to know from influencers: is are they really sending you something that's really greatest show in town, or is it because they made 10 grand or whatever? Are they getting paid to tell you? Is it just a commercial? Is my question.
When somebody with millions of followers is telling millions of people, this is the greatest show in Vegas, this magician study show is so great, it's so great, it's so great, it's so great. And then I have a proof from a video where she deleted all of the real comments about how bad it is. And then the magician study sends me a cease and desist letter because I put that video up. And then I'm sitting here with you and you're telling me that your magician friend saw it and said that it was not good. I mean, if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, and it's like, I mean, come on.
But that's again, like,
this is constant. It's not just this. It's like the whole finger licking food tours thing too. Like, you're going to work for 2 years editing videos and putting them up because Donald is your friend. All right, maybe that's true, but I ate dinner with you at Gianna's when you told me you got that job. It makes me crazy. Do you see the way it's triggering for me?
Yeah.
She's bending space-time, but in an evil way. Like I see Cruella de Vil, like this. Ah! The other thing that gripes my ass. Obviously, I'm not an attractive guy, right? No comments. She's attacking the way I look. Is she so effing great? Like the nerve of her. At least I'm in the gym trying to do something with myself, and I'm not casting aspersions at her because I don't want to be labeled the misogynist. But she's a much older person who obviously is not taking care of themselves. And I'm an older guy who looks like Voldemort, who has no pigment in his skin. I never got girls my whole life. The marketplace tells you what you look like, right? When I first showed my face on social media, oh my God, you're so ugly. I know what I look like. That's why I stayed off of social. That's why I kept my face off social media for a year, right? But there she is insulting my looks. So what does that tell me? There's a thing called narcissistic blindness. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. It tells me this. My mirror works. Her mirror, not so much. That's what I come away. I do the math. Like, how can a person like that be attacking my looks all the time? I mean, come on, girlfriend. It's like, really? Her mirror's not working.
Yeah.
So if you were at an event and Perez was here and Starfish was over here and you had to go one way or the other, who were you going to go and hang out with?
Definitely Perez.
Okay.
Like, I just can't trust him.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not angry with Perez. I think he's cute. I think he's funny. I think he's got a cool personality. I mean, I don't know him, but I just, there's something about him that I find endearing. Okay?
Yeah.
So the fact that he stabbed me in the neck, I can't trust him. You know what it's like? It's like if you meet a girl and you're attracted to her, but she just totally screws you over. You still liked her. You still found her entertaining. You still went out with her. But wow, I can't really hang out with her. I don't find anything endearing about the dinosaur. Nothing.
You asked, what was the podcast guy's name that you said?
Fargo.
Jeff Fargo.
Have you asked him to go on his show?
I was on his show.
Oh, you did? Did you clear up any of this with them?
No, I'm angry as hell that he deleted so many comments on that video where all of my, including my girlfriend's comment.
No, but your actual, you were on the show.
I was on Fargo, and I may have talked about it. I may have not. I don't know.
I'm just curious if like...
It's very, you have to understand something. It's especially when you give me a Red Bull. which I'd never liked the taste of, but you know what? It's not as bad as I thought it was. Full disclosure, a company called Vegas Energy gave me 10% of their company to compete with these people, but whatever.
Oh,
I thought that
sorry.
no, I'm fine with it. It's actually not as bad as I thought it was. See, I'm admitting to you.
Shout out Red Bull.
So it's very, very easy for me to do this, and you guys are going to understand why in exactly 1 second. When you're lying, right? You talk slow. It's an energy suck on you. You know, I can come on here and just throw up all over you guys and tell you all of this nonsense about my life. It's easy work.
Yeah.
This is the easiest work I've ever done in my entire life. And it's cathartic. To be able to share my truth with you, it's a catharsis.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, this is great. I love it.
Yeah. I know that feeling when you're just like, finally, I just can get it out. And it does come easy and natural and quick because it is true.
I have no shame.
Yeah.
I don't care. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I was telling the story the other day. I'll tell this really quick. I told it on another podcast. Now you got me on this. It's like, I had this girl that I was in love with, and I mean in love with. And she was a stripper. That's how I met her. 2007, I met her. You know, I was already an older guy. I was already like, I guess I was 42 at the time. And I chased her for 10 years, right? And I was fat. And her friend actually came to me and said, you know, she's disgusted by you. Oh. And I was like, oh my God, that hurts so bad. And she was only with me because I had a big house. I had some economics behind me. She was cute. And she had other boyfriends, whatever. I didn't mind the abuse because I grew up not so great. So I kind of enjoyed the abuse. Also, you get adrenaline from abuse and that creates dopamine. That's a whole nother story. So I'm dealing with this. 2017, I'm working for Google. I put a lot of money in the bank. I got ripped. I went to her and I said, I got a lot of money in the bank. I'm ripped. I lost all the weight. I stood right in front of her. I'll never forget it. It was early 2017. She still had that dead look in her eyes. Mm-hmm. Like I've lived that. Like I did everything I could to get this girl. So I think it's an incredible, I tell that as a story to young men because a lot of young men will say, if I just make money, my life will be okay. No, it's about the people. And my girlfriend now says this, your tribe is your vibe. The people that you hang around are. So the fact that I'm not in with the Vegas food, big, powerful influencers, they're all full of shit. How can you do that job honestly?
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
You know who I'm hanging out with? I'm hanging out with the smaller creators who are real. Jay Fructose is crazy. He's a banana, but he's real. He's living like an animal like me. You know, he shows the slot machines. He beats the slot machines for $11. He moves on. Baby Khaled, I mean, the poor guy, he's drunk. The security's throwing him. Jose the Taco Guy, no one's had a sadder life than Jose the Taco Guy. I mean, he's suffering like, these are my people.
You're also hanging out with Tony and Angel on Boom
Yeah.
Baby.
Right. But when you see me out at night, I'm out with people who are not faking it in any way.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what
good.
I'm trying to say.
Don't fake it. We have to go pick up our kids from school soon.
Does this get edited?
No.
It goes out like this?
Yep.
Wow, it's a lot. How long do we go for?
We're getting close
Almost
to
3 hours.
3 hours.
Wow, it's my longest one. You guys got a lot of
I mean, I feel like
capacity for my nonsense.
I feel like you-
I
stamina.
love it. I feel like
You
we
could
can
go
do
a
it
lot.
again.
Yeah.
Well, you gave me this.
Yeah.
I know. I did see you come alive.
Yeah.
That was pretty magic to watch.
I love the, giving the old man wisdom when I can, to younger people and like kids and whatever, because
How old do you think I am? I think you think I'm.
I would say you guys are probably around.
Oh, be careful. I didn't say to ask her. You test me.
Well, I would say you're around 40.
Thanks.
What are you?
I'll be 50.
Oh, you look really good.
Thanks.
Good for you.
I'm around 40.
No, you're not. Shut up.
Close.
Wow.
Yeah. But thank you so much. I mean, I appreciate you coming on. Again, I do enjoy when you come across my feed. I don't scroll as much as she does. She's more of a scroller. But when you do come across my feed, I enjoy it. And I do enjoy the real rawness. The other night, I actually couldn't sleep, and I came across you walking down this scary back street somewhere on a live.
That's right. Yeah. So I live in the Allure. So right behind the Allure is Naked City.
Naked City, right?
And I woke up one morning and another influencer, and I don't dislike this guy, so don't take it the wrong way. I'm not going to give his name, whatever. He's entitled to his opinion. He said it's the worst neighborhood in Las Vegas. And I'm like, now, isn't that convenient? It's content for me, really. Isn't that convenient? It's right outside my window. Let me go walk the whole thing. If something happens, whatever, I'll do a video.
Yeah.
And so I did it. So I did it at about 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. So,
No,
of course.
it was
no,
at night.
I know. Well,
Oh.
let me tell you what happened. So I did it at 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. I had at least 15 or 20 comments. Okay, go do that at night now.
Oh, I see.
So now I went out at 1 o'clock in the morning and I did the exact same walk.
It was fun. I gotta say, I was laying in bed, and at one point I was like, "What am I doing with my life right now? Like, why am I watching this?" But it was enjoyable, and it actually, again, it led me to what I said earlier. Like, I think you could potentially do stuff like that because with content creating, holding people is the name of the game, right?
Right.
Like the hook is the important thing, but holding them through, that's where you're making money.
Well, about full disclosure, only 2% of people make it to the end of my super long videos.
Yeah, well,
So
sure.
they call themselves the 2% Club.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. But it was. I did find it enjoyable, and it was kind of scary. It was kind of spooky. It was kind of a mystery. It was kind of like, ooh, what's going to happen? The cat, I was like, right. So I
think that was the
watch.
same cat from the morning too.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was very enjoyable. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, this was really such a
was fun.
treat.
And I feel like we went all over the place. I feel like there was a lot of stuff that I wanted to ask.
back.
Yeah, but maybe we'll just
Well, the
have you back
the
on.
motto of my life is all over the place. So you kind of hit the nail right on the. You kind of just hit the nail right on the head.
That's fun. Yeah, it is fun too to like fly all over the place and just
Yeah.
kind of like tag
I
along.
definitely, now hearing all your stories, I do have more questions. Maybe we should put together a list of questions. And
Definitely.
If he has time, since he's so busy, to come back.
I'm
and
not
like,
that busy
Okay.
at all. Like this
Okay.
is just a joy for me.
Oh, us
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
honestly.
yeah,
This
yeah.
was really great.
Yeah.
I'm always willing to come back. A number of people have had me twice.
Oh,
The
good.
only danger is you might hear the same shit twice.
That's
the-
okay.
Same, but we struggle with that too. I'm always like, oh, don't tell that story.
I was like,
again.
if I told you this, please stop me.
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
But,
when you get old, it gets really bad.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what do we say now? Do we say goodbye, Pauly C? Or
Well, no, I end it with
Do
the
it.
way I do my videos. Vegas Pauly C.
there you have it. Thanks, Pauly.